What is up, guys? It's Adam, aka Marf, and this is Marfoogle News, the only live call-in show on YouTube. Okay, not really. Today we are going to be talking about meteors and a gentleman in Ohio that just had a whole neighborhood evacuated because he was building a nuclear device. On top of that, we will be talking about Elon Musk and his now drama-filled sister.
No, Adam. I think it's stepmother.
No. It's his stepsister, right?
Well, stepmother.
Okay, so wait. If it's his sister and his mother, wait a second. What does that make him?
What? Hang on. Maybe it's stepmother and his stepsister had a stepniece that is now a stepsister. So that makes him a brother, uncle, brunkle?
I'm confused. You know what, Dex? Get Maury on the phone real quick.
Whoa, I just can't get Maury on the phone.
What do you mean? You're Dex. You can do that kind of stuff.
That's literally not possible. We're not even connected.
Well, isn't there like a number for the show or something?
Sure, if you want to be on the show.
Well, that's a great idea. Let's get Elon Musk, his brother, his dad, his father, his sister, his niece, his mother, all on Maury. There we go.
Sounds like a plan.
And then he'll figure it out. I think. I knew you could do it. Either way, we'll be right back with your news and live call-in show right after this. He's a brother, uncle, sister, mother, cousin. He's a bronco. Yeah, Elon Musk is a bronco. That's a brother, uncle. Marfoogle News. All right. Well. What is up, guys? My name is Adam, aka Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. If you've never been here before, this is a live show. It is now 9:33 p.m. on the 5th of December. We will be taking live calls at 224400-MARF. If you need the actual number, it is in parentheses right here scrolling across. Of course, MARF is 6273 on a touch-tone phone. Now, we also are going to go over all of the news. There's actually about 18 stories here, and we're not going to be able to hit all of them all at once, especially this. So this Ohio thing, this freaked me out because in fact, we covered a bunch of stuff that got us in some heat. We've covered some stuff about nuclear activity across the border, which kind of actually got us on the spotlight. We talked about several things regarding that about 6 or 7 months ago. After that, I've been reached out to by several people. And then, of course, we have our military group in our Discord. We have over almost 12,000 folks in our Discord. And in that, we have a separate private group of over 300 active and retired military folks. And in that group, those people are always sending us information and all sorts of stuff. Well, about 4 or 5 months ago, somebody started reaching out and telling me stuff. And the first couple things, I didn't really pay too much attention to. And then when he predicted something a week and a half before, I was like, holy crap. I didn't even talk about it on my show because I didn't think anything of it. But after basically everything he said came true to the T, and he had the behind the scenes on something that, was presidential, I was like, okay, this guy's legit. I don't go around saying, I've got this source and this and that. I usually tell who it is unless it's somebody I'm trying to, protect, or somebody that it would hurt their, career. In this case, the gentleman is now retired but has family still in. So another good source. So we're going to be using that to our advantage as much as we can without getting anybody in trouble. So that was really crazy. As far as this goes, I was kind of warned about 2.5 months ago about something kind of similar to this. We had the dirty BOMB that was up. Where was that, Dex? Do you remember? That was like in Pennsylvania or something?
I think it was near West Virginia, wasn't it?
Something like that. We covered it in our show. You can always go through back, and that actually brings me to a really good note. Dex, who just answered that, is a co-host of sorts and producer and screener. He helps me put the show together. Now, he actually has a whole large screen over here that is dedicated to him giving me stuff that the callers want to be seen. So if you call in and you're like, hey, you got to check out this video by BP Earthwatch or, somebody like High Impact Flicks, you got to see this. He just busted out something crazy. Then he can actually give me the links and I can show you live while I'm doing this. So it's really awesome. That's how we end up having the who's up next and who's up now. If you want to go back into these articles and we don't cover them all the way through, go to marfooglenews.com. This is how easy it is. We spend a lot of time before each and every show. That's why it varies in time when we can get on, when we can, get all this started. You actually go and click this thumbnail for tonight's show. And when you do that, you will actually go to this. And down below, we have attached each and every article that we use today. So we back up what we say and we give you the sources so you can actually go and read the rest of the articles or even follow along on a second device. Now, you can go into that. You can sign up for all of our different services. We offer free alerts. If any of our military folks were going to say, hey, something's about to hit the fan, we, of course, will let you know via the alerts system. So it's a pretty big deal. All you need to do is an email address. It's pretty freaking sweet. Okay, and we use them very sparingly. Okay, and let's see here. Dex, let's get a quick sound check from you. Dex is again going to handle a lot of the calls tonight. Dex, are you there?
Hello, Adam. I am here, and hello, Foogle Fam.
Well, welcome. Now, it appears that you've had a pretty awesome couple days, and what do you think about all of this crazy stuff? And you were actually one of the first people on this.
Yeah, a lot of moving pieces today. I mean, the story with what's happening in Ohio just literally came about over the last few hours, and there's a lot going on, a lot of interesting topics for us to talk about tonight. I'm really looking forward to the show.
And to get back to that too, we're going to cover it to the best of our abilities of what they know now. I love that I see people that are like, oh, it's okay. These people just have a quantum physics burn or something like that. I'm like, how often does that happen? With these things, though, I do want to keep everybody's mind trained on the fact that stories change on the spot if there's something that they need to not have go public. Even if it gets to the local news level, I've talked to some, now they are not with Q13, but they said there are rare instances where they start to cover a story. Say they go to a house and they're covering SWAT team going in or whatever, and they find out somebody's there that has top security clearance or basically they find out something. In mid-moment, news channels actually have to stop covering it. They get a call or they get a word or somebody comes up to them in person and says, stop covering this. Here's the story. And they actually get handed sheets like a printout, like basically a written story that they report it has changed to. And that sounds like they're just like straight up lying, but it's actually, that's something that the government has to do in certain cases to protect certain things from getting out. Now, that's happened a lot. I don't know if you guys know this, but, if the news gets a call from the higher-ups, they just have to change it. They have to do whatever. And it is kind of messed up, right? You'd think if you're running a news thing and you're actually there covering something and then you have to change the story, that's kind of funky. But at the same time, what if it was something to protect the United States of America, something that was, top secret or something like that? So that has happened plenty of times. In fact, now they have declassified stories all sorts. In fact, some of the true crime folks write about these kind of stories where the news has to say something that's completely untrue. And again, that's probably why a lot of people are turning to this platform for their news. But who knows? or they end up, what is it called? Arkancided. All right, so we're going to cover the news real quick. Again, if we don't get all the way through these articles, again, you can go to marfooglenews.com and you can catch up with us. Just want to welcome real quick, though. We have tons of new subscribers from over on news and other places. We've got Stephanie Millican. Thank you for subscribing. As always, if you subscribe during the live show, you will get a shout out. We've got Todd Miller, Jason Beck. By the way, I did hear your message on the audio file you sent me. I appreciate you. I don't think you needed to delete your channel, but yeah, I never got to talk to you about that. I understand that you do stuff that maybe you did that because of the COPPA, children's law. I don't know. But Living Better with Jason Beck was his show, and but if you ever wanted to start another one, I will totally help you. Les Salo, MBC or MB Chow FC. Thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the fam. David Pierce, Daryl McEwen or Ewin, Tina Weber, G, Thomas Umu, Michael Dariample, James Bowers, Christine Files, Robert Laco or Ayako, don't know which one, Rianne Miner, Sarah Conway, Not So Slim Jim, David Craig, Homemade with Love, and Love by Loretta and Blaine. Boom, that's all the new people. Thank you, Angelina Roxy, for being the last one out last night. Mark Sketch, Marf, I have a confession to make. I unsubscribed and resubscribed just to get a shout out. Accept my apologies, LOL. That's actually awesome. Marf, please forgive me for getting a shout out. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. And no worries, you are forgiven. Jason Beck just had to make a new channel. I was like, I know that name. All right, so we're going to go through this. Russian agents planned hit from assassins' lairs in French Alps. See, this is like the kind of stuff that's in these fictional books, only this is real. It says a group of elite Russian military intelligence officers, including some of those who planned the poisoning of a defector in Britain, have been operating out of a picturesque villages in the French Alps. That is, of course, from Western intelligence officials. And it says, confirming a report in France's Le Monde Daily that could have been ripped from the pages of a John le Carre spy novel. The officials said European and American intelligence agencies have been tracking up to 15 members of a Russian military intelligence agency known as the GRU, or the GRU. Sorry, I think I peeked there. Who had lived for a time in France. Le Monde published what it said were the names of the officers, some of which had already been published by Bellingcat, an open source investigative group. Now, did you read this, Dex? This is pretty crazy. It says, it's good that our European partners are taking the Russian threat so seriously, said Mark Polymeropoulos, a former senior CIA officer with expertise in Europe and Russia. What do you think of this, Dex?
It's totally out of a book, but it's interesting. It says that they're actually, if you keep going, they mentioned that they were tracking up to 200 of them here in America. It's crazy. I guess we think that this stuff goes on, and I'm sure we all know this stuff goes on. There are covert agents, doing all sorts of espionage for each side of each country, but we're seeing it in the news. It's coming out in mainstream, and they're talking about specifically, a group of agents, or that they've found this information. So it's really fascinating and interesting to see what's coming on. But there's a stat here at the bottom that says they're actually tracking as many as 200 operatives in the U.S. right now from Russia.
So I have the part highlighted here. It says the FBI is tracking as many as 200 Russian operatives in the United States, current and former officials say, but some slipped through unnoticed, as was demonstrated by Special Counsel Robert Mueller's indictments accusing Russians of using social media propaganda to influence the 2016 election. It says the indictment said some of the defendants traveled to the U.S. under false pretenses, quote, for the purpose of collecting intelligence. But their scheme was not discovered until much later. Well, I'm sure we kind of all saw that. In fact, 200 is not the real number. I guarantee it. I, in fact, know that there's plenty more. And 200 isn't even the amount that they know about. They Say that many. That's a little game that Russia plays as well with us. We have, I don't know, something like 500 agents over there. The Five Eyes and the system of how we spy on each other, there's tons of them. And, we don't know about half of theirs. They don't know about half of ours. But pretty much, though, nowadays with the technology we have, the tracking, the cell phones, and everything else, they know a lot more than what they let on. And the thing is for political reasons, sometimes they can't actually stop things that happen. Like they cannot stop, some of these things that end up going down. That's what's really crazy about that. Hold on, let me fix this a little bit. So say, for example, if they knew something was going to happen, an event was going to happen, and they ended up not being able to do anything because if they did, then the other guys would basically prove that we were doing something we weren't supposed to be doing. There's been instances where there were events they could have prevented, but they didn't because, and this is like what do you call it? Where they just sacrifice, what is it called, Dex? The word I'm looking for, and I've used it a million times. Collateral damage. Collateral damage, and they consider these, sacrifices for, keeping under their cover or something like this, where essentially they knew it was going to happen, but they couldn't say anything because they can't tell them that they knew it was going to happen because it would ruin that source or ruin that thing. A lot of this, I think they're all up in the top echelons. There's certain people from all the countries working together, doing all sorts of weird stuff. I mean, there's a master plan above all of this, in my opinion. But down below in the, compartmentalized groups, there's a lot of stuff going on right under our noses. And the craziest thing is, you're on the bus, you're on the train, you are next to agents, all sorts of different people. You never know who you are next to. You could be next to murderers, but you could also, people don't think about this, you could be next to, a Jason Bourne or whatever his name is. You could be next to a spy, a James Bond in real life, and you would never know it. Now, it says blocking SWIFT access would be a declaration of conflict, and you guys know I can't say that stupid W word, or at least not a lot. Otherwise, they ding the whole thing. Russia warns against U.S. nuclear option. Now we're going to talk about the nuclear option. We've actually got a lot of nuke news. I guess you could call it nukes. That didn't work. It says last year during the height of controversy over the Kerch Strait incident, while 24 Ukrainian sailors were being held by Russia, Washington's special envoy to Ukraine at the time, Kurt Volker, floated the possibility of Washington blocking Russian banks from SWIFT. He told Voice of America at the time that he was considered, quote, a nuclear option, and it would have huge costs, which would even inadvertently impact U.S. allies. It says people refer to it as a nuclear option. It would have costs for everybody involved. Big costs for Russia, but big costs for allies as well. Ultimately, we have kept it on the table as a possibility because we just can't continue to see Russia launch further steps of aggression in a neighborhood like this. No doubt it's still in Washington's playbook as a, quote, nuclear option long after the Kerch Strait incident, diffused and with a historic prisoner swap, and the Kremlin has taken note. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this, but I covered that when that happened, where wasn't this the time that they had them on the boats? They had the 6 guys or whatever It was. Yeah. And they essentially, I think both sides treated them nice, though. They had them basically prisoners of conflict, and, they ended up swapping them out. We've had several events like this over the past few years where, we have actually come very close to something, popping off, but they always kind of back off. There's always something that saves us. And what we see is we always see it diffused. We always see it just, common sense and logical and polite and oh, well, we're going to do this and we're just going to fix it. That's the side we see. We never see when it actually escalates past that and when it's, very close to, a back and forth, a mutually assured destruction type situation. We don't see those things. And, people don't think that they happen. They think that we're always going to have that red phone. We're going to call and go, okay, let's talk about this. I don't think that's the case. Now, I also don't think that we're going to go to the point of nukes anytime soon. But just so you know, there is an option out there. There's an option where we could actually go to a massive, WW3 with, say, Russia and China and all of our allies and all of their enemies, and, millions could perish, and it would actually benefit somebody. I hope you guys know that war is big money. Conflict is big, big money. And if you were up at the upper echelons and you were not going to be anywhere near the front line, you could very well work with another country to actually have that happen. I know this sounds crazy, but like I don't know if I should say their names, but the Clothschild, the Clothschild, and the Chockefellers, those families, some of the biggest banking families in the world, speaking of banks on the screen, they actually paid both sides in certain conflicts. We're talking about, hundreds of years back, actually paying both sides because that conflict, say they owned a weapons company or something like this, the conflict would come to both of their companies and it would be big money. That's where we've talked about the saying, buy at the sound of horns, sell at the sound of cannons, or something like that. So it's a very famous saying. It actually comes from the Clothschild's family, and it's all sorts of crazy stuff. So again, that's my personal opinion. You guys are welcome to research, and if you want to read the rest of this article, you can always go to marfooglenews.com and then scroll down.
Adam, one quick note on this that I think is kind of interesting as we progress through the rest of the news. Think about this. As the conflict with Iran continues to escalate, we know that Russia is a big ally for them. This swift blocking was something that we did specifically with Ryan. It was just today that the prime minister from Russia came out and actually addressed the fact that we had talked about doing it to them a year ago. Why are they bringing that up today? Why are they poking the bear, so to speak, and saying and bringing up this type of rhetoric with us as everything else seems to be escalating?
And we're going to be talking about Ryan, and yes, we say that a little bit differently than everybody else, and that is the reason why we are still here, I guess. Again, we're coming 5 days until the big change, or, nobody knows. But again, yeah, Dex is completely right on that. There are so many things going on at once. It's pretty insane. Now, this is absolutely insane. This is what I did a video on the main channel to get you over here if you weren't over here already. This sounded, when we first got the information, it sounded exactly like a warning I've gotten. Now, just hypothetically think of it this way. Do you think, as an American person or anybody in any country, say if you're watching from Australia, New Zealand, Europe, represent where you're from in the chat if you would like. Here's the thing. Do you ever think of these kind of things happening? And not so far as like a mutually assured destruction, the whole world is ending, just a smaller device like something built in a garage going off. That is actually much more realistic than any country shooting one, or NK, or any of these other ones. The fact is that there is tons of nuclear fission, nuclear materials that have gone missing since it was, invented in the first place. Since the second WW2, since WW2, we have had so many warheads go unaccounted for, so many uranium bars and all these things that are unaccounted for or stolen. This is what people don't think of. There are some pretty crappy countries as far as security goes that are also making nukes. Like, imagine, Russia had the ability to nuke, back then. Did they have the best, storage facilities, right? Or were Russians able to go in there and steal some? What did they then do? Well, then they sold it to other countries. I guarantee you some of these smaller countries with a lot of money, especially some of the oil countries, they have purchased the ability to make these things. When we went over and we were looking for WMDs or whatever, that was a complete goose chase. That was like totally, like, in my opinion, fake news. Like, what they were going there for. But there are other smaller countries that actually do hate us with a passion and also have money or gold or whatever they want, and they could trade that for stolen materials. So I think it's just ignorant to think that we will never have some sort of nuclear blast or something like it happen, or chemical blast in the United States. That is the next 911, in my opinion. I hope I never see it. I hope I never know anybody who's in it. But unfortunately, people don't want to talk about that kind of option. But again, we need to prepare for that kind of stuff. What would you do if there was something chemical near you? It says in Columbus, Ohio, a cul-de-sac in northwest Columbus and the surrounding area have been evacuated due to an investigation from the Columbus Division of Fire, according to officials. Columbus Fire Chief Steve Martin says crews, including hazmat and bomb squad, responded to a residence in the Chippenhook Court area at around 6 p.m. Columbus Fire says authorities responded to an unconfirmed report that somebody was building a nuclear device and claimed they were injured. Now, I saw some people saying, everything's all good. The guy himself called 911 because he received burns and he wasn't trying to die or, whatever. I mean, he got burned very badly from whatever he was making. Still does not make me feel any better. If there's people like the radioactive Boy Scout that happened a few years back making nuclear devices in their garage, that means it's a danger. That means if this guy can get his hands on enough stuff to do it, imagine somebody with money and with a lot of hatred in their heart. We still have not seen one of these go off. Again, I also want to remind you of all the foiled attempts that they have. Now with the surveillance that they have, the phones, the texts, NSA, all that, there is a good thing, though, about all of that, is they really have caught, and I've talked to actual military members that have been on raids, and they raid these people's houses. They have uranium, all the stuff to make stuff, other supplies, guns, big, caches of guns and stuff like this. And this does happen all the time. And we sometimes see it in the news where they'll find this huge cache of weapons or whatever. But we never think about what if they didn't get caught? What if they did fulfill their plan? We're not talking about just a regular guy shooting a bunch of people like some of the things that have previously happened. It would be worse than Las Vegas. It would be worse than, anything we've ever seen if some of these that got caught didn't get caught. And they don't even show us half of it. So this doesn't make me feel any better. The guy's in the hospital. They said he got, what were they called, Dex? Quantum physics burns or something?
Yeah, it was some sort of radio burn or wave burn from a device he was making. I believe some are reporting as a capacitor. But that's just what, like you said, that's the story we're getting now. But do you remember it was only a month ago we had a similar event where a hazmat was called for, it was a halfway house, I think, where somebody had uranium delivered. Interesting story. And maybe that's the official story they gave us, but what was really going on, right? That's always the question you should ask.
Okay, so perfect point. And that's again, we saw uranium there, and didn't we just cover one with it at a preschool or something?
Yes, there was something about a school having a high level of radiation coming from it. I cannot remember where that was, but I do remember that.
Now, besides that one, because I don't know the exact, I do know it was radioactive and it was a school. They closed down that school. What I'm trying to point out to people is that this is something that they are preparing for. This is something they're drilling for. If you have not seen the news lately, even local news, this is what I asked everybody in my groups to do: is text me, email me, whichever way you find best to get a hold of me. Twitter, Instagram, any of those ways to get a hold of me. do your best to do so if you see something like that happening. I think it was Bones or sorry, I just got something in my eye. It was Bones or somebody who actually emailed me or called me about this whole drill in, I want to say Nebraska, one of these drills, but it was straight up drilling for nuclear blasts. Not only that, we had plenty of events. We've got HDS, Human Domain Services. I keep covering this. They are doing drills all over the country, and they're hired by the government to prepare for something. Let's see here. I'm gonna show you this. And by the way, this is not a bad company. I'm not saying anything negative about them. Let's see. I'm sure they do an amazing job at what they do. But what it is it's a bunch of ex-military people that have put together a company, and they do drills and they practice things, right? It's kind of like a survey you get paid for to go 3 days and taste cereal. Only in this one, you do, role playing, right? I don't even know if I can say that, right? Look, just read the main page here. HDS is a Virginia-based small business specializing in professional services, consulting, staffing, national security, RP, and training in the core areas of the human domain. Now, they actually have ads all over the country, and when they do it, they actually join our team today. This is a big deal because they are practicing all over the country for something I never say that word right. Radiological. Sorry, anytime I screw up, it's like a OCD thing that I have to point it out and then repeat it. Radiological. Disaster preparedness and response. These guys, if you look at the people that are behind this, they are all very, very, they were high up. They were, these guys were super high up military guys. Now they focus their stuff on drilling and preparing the masses for weird stuff. Now you can tell what they're focused on, and what's crazy is you can almost line up for what they've practiced for with real events over the years. So people have started sending those. A lot of people actually pay attention to their website, pay attention to Craigslist, all the different ads that they put out, and they send those to me. And I always get it, and I'm like, oh, this city is preparing? Why is this city, a little tiny city, or this city? It's because they practice a contingency plan for potential things that they may receive, information that they receive. And then they practice it, and if it never happens, then they say, okay, we practiced. But here's the thing. For them to put the kind of money that they put into these mass drills and all these things, they have to have some sort of threat. Otherwise, they're not going to just, do it over and over and over again. These happen on a regular basis, not just to prepare and to do normal things. They do it because of certain things, especially when they do these more specialized drills. So I definitely want to point out, brush up on this. What if there was any kind of chemical thing around you? We all think about earthquakes and flashlights and power and whatever else, but do we ever think about, what would happen if we had to seal up our house? Or, what would you do in that situation? It's actually kind of interesting to think about because do you have any clothes that would protect you in that kind of thing if you had to go somewhere else and go through some horrifically bad, chemicals? None of us have oxygen tanks, so what the heck are we going to do? Now,
and Adam, you just said all the money we're spending on drilling, and we just talked about last night all the money we're going to spend on equipment. Remember the CBR
smart suits?
Yeah, the smart suits. Wow. The writing's on the wall there.
The smart suits that they're ordering by DARPA are suits that can evolve to different chemical stuff. They don't even know what we're going to be hit with. That's what's even crazier. They're making suits that can evolve to the situation because they don't know. That's the thing. They don't know, and they know something big is being planned, but they don't know what. And that bothers the planners. When you're a planner, when you run like HDS, when you do that kind of stuff, it really bothers you when you don't know what the threat is. So now DARPA, they're asking DARPA, they're saying, hey, DARPA, we need a suit that can just protect against something, and if it doesn't, it's got to adapt to it. That's how crazy these things are. A suit that adapts to whatever, kind of thing is happening. Now, this is more, nuke stuff. We, of course, have the football. Russia has a briefcase. It says, "The key to Armageddon. Russia's nuclear suitcase gets unlocked for the public." Now, this is a whole big long thing for this picture, but can you explain this, Dex?
Well, yeah, sure, Adam. I think it's just the first time they're actually showing the suitcase, and this one may actually be on. It really looks like it's on some sort of display. But if you've ever had any mystery as to what was behind the suitcase, I guess this is it. I joked earlier. I said there's 4 buttons in there, probably 3 for America and 1 for Europe. But there it is, and never before seen.
Yeah. So they might have. Here's one thing though. Did they like retire this one and make a new one with like less buttons? It's just like one big American flag in the middle or something. I don't know.
Right.
You know, but it's actually more than 3. I don't know. Yeah. There's like one big button. Like that's like really hard for user error. It's kind of crazy actually. It's just a thing with multiple buttons just right in the middle. And then this is their equivalent of look at that. They've got pictures of people carrying it. It's just like our president always has the football, they call it. And it's basically the same thing, a briefcase with the nuclear codes in it. And he himself, if anything happens, he has the ability to push that button and to launch. Could you imagine if we had, some other president or whatever, and they just, is there anything stopping him from doing this, by the way? Like any president. Can the president just push it if he wanted to? Like, what if he just ordered his men to stand down and said, we have to nuke the place? I just wondered if there's a second person that has to push it too, or it's like he alone has the control over it.
That's a great question, Adam. I mean, I really think he does have the power, right? That's the whole point.
I really do wonder. All right. So really the article goes on, but essentially it's that. It is the box, and their system is very similar to ours. And I'm sure now it's just extra spunky with a few less buttons and probably some sort of flat screen that was made in China. But, All right.
Got Bluetooth, I'm sure.
Oh, yes, of course. That starts to crackle when you get more than 5 feet away and says Huawei. All right. Now, videos. Blue fireball lights up sky above Texas, Oklahoma, and Louisiana. Now, I want to ask you guys a question, and I wish I would have started the vote thing tonight. Why are there so many coming in? And I've reported my own sightings. I've seen at least 3 now come into our atmosphere and burn off. And the one that I saw, the second one, which immediately, and I'm talking immediately, had 2 helicopters, which I got footage of and put up on Discord. And instantly, all of my Discord folks were all getting together and they were all looking up the flight paths, because not only did 2... did we ever figure out, Dex, what kind of helicopters those were? And I'm not talking about the other one I posted of the daytime.
No, I don't think we got the actual make of them, but we did get the tracking for the plane that you said that went by right after. That was a cargo plane.
So it was 2 like Apaches or Chinooks, or there were 2. They looked to me like the faster, thinner ones. They were less beefy. The Chinooks are the double propeller, so it wasn't those. But it was the 2 fast helicopters flying in formation right after the meteor came in. Then a huge, I guess we ended up calling it a C-130 or something of that size and comparison, but it had all of these things on the bottom. I filmed it. It was directly above me, and I filmed it, and it had all these devices on the bottom. I've never seen anything like it. And if it took off that fast and then flew that slow, it was very odd, because Scoot, one of our awesome guys he's very smart with that kind of stuff. Within minutes, Scoot had the plane the path, everything. It was like they were trying to recover it. And it was this blue fireball. So I'll stop talking and I'll actually show you this fireball. This is a great video of it. This, of course, why is there so many? And I'm not kidding you. This is like, I wasn't lucky to see 2 in like 2 weeks and then 1 another month later. It's because there's a lot more coming in. And now they've told us the excuse is, oh, we've got a mini moon. Look at this thing. Boom. It's going to replay here in a second. And look at the glow that it leaves behind. Isn't that epic? Like, and I've seen a few now. I've never seen one go through the clouds. I mean, that's just like magical. That's like Superman flying through the clouds. But I want to ask if you guys can, please get footage of these things. Send them to me. If you have footage, send them to me. I will get them out as fast as I can. Hit me on Twitter at Marfoogle. Hit me on Instagram at Marfoogle. Make sure to follow me there as well. And tag at Marfoogle when you do those videos, and I'll try to show them. All right. Again, I want to know what's really going on. I'm going to pull up a story that I actually did not have planned for this. And I wanted to show you what I meant. At any given time, mini moon. Oh, crap. Yes. And it... Did you mean? Let's see. Yes. I think this is something like it. Now, they say super rare mini moon. It says fireball spotted over Australian desert may have been super rare mini moon. Now, this is just a few days ago, so this is actually current, so it's about 5 days ago that this happened. It says fireballs explode in Earth's atmosphere all the time, usually unremarkably, and a fireball that exploded over Australian desert in 2016 might have been mistaken for another bolide. But if not for a network of cameras monitoring the sky to search for just such events, it says it was thanks to images taken by these cameras called the Desert Fireball Network that astronomers were able to ascertain that the fireball was no ordinary exploding space rock. Instead, velocity data revealed that the rock had probably been in orbit around Earth before meeting its fiery end, a phenomenon known as a temporary captured orbiter, or colloquially, a mini-moon. Now, they just recently, much recently told us about this again. I don't know how long mini-moons have been around. I don't know if they've been in textbooks for as long as we've lived. But just recently, right before this, all of these things that have popped up over the last week, they have told us that, oh, don't worry, if you see a fireball, it's just a mini-moon. And it's like all over the world, we're seeing these fireballs come in. You can go back to my earliest videos. I was told by a very good military source that earthquakes are going to go up by 3 and that fireballs are going to go up by 3. Volcanoes are going to go up by 3. All these things. And this isn't a biblical thing. He's not quoting, he's not quoting Revelation. Oh my gosh. Revelations. I had to do the echo on it, Dex. He's not quoting Revelations. He was quoting actual information that they are getting. So whatever they know more, and they're not going to tell us. Dex, would you think that we would have entire countries panic if they knew that there was something much more nefarious going on?
Oh, come on. The minute they tell us that there's going to be a major impact, everybody's going to go nuts. So if they know it, they're not going to say it. I think at best, if they know it and they know that they have a contingency plan and they mitigate the problem, then they'll probably say something. But if they know there's going to be a big impact, they're not going to say anything. It would cause too much pandemonium.
So I really do ask you guys, why? Why are there so many? Why do you think this is? Do you think that we are going through some sort of field and they know about it? Do they know that a few of the smaller ones are going to hit and cause havoc, but they don't want business to stop? Think about it. If they knew even 6 months from now something was going to hit New York, would they stop it? Would they stop daily business in New York to evacuate everybody? Well, let me just tell you this. They did do a simulation in New York, and it failed horribly. They did a simulated evacuation of New York, and it went horrible, like bad. Let me just show you. Simulated evac of New York. And yes, I'm like all of you. I talk when I type. Let's see. Yep. This was in May 7th of this year. They're doing a lot more stuff around this, and it's really creepy. It says, why NASA just destroyed a simulated New York with a huge fake asteroid. It says the exercise was designed to evaluate our planetary defense plan, which, by the way, they have talked about a crap load lately. Not only that, the elites, the real elites, like these people are secretly and openly doing governments in the sky, saying they're basically setting up a space government. Is that because they know about, say, a certain amount of a chance that Earth would be destroyed? Why is there all of a sudden this race to go to the moon and then Mars? Why are we trying to terraform? Why is there such a rush? If we have all this time, who cares? Why do they have to be there by this? Why do they have certain dates that they're like, nope, we got to get there by this? It's super, super weird. It says a make-believe asteroid 200 feet wide just plowed into a simulated New York City, sent there by NASA as part of an exercise to study what might happen if astronomers found a giant space rock heading towards Earth. If the collision had been real, the city would have been hit with the force 1,000 times more powerful than the nuclear bomb dropped on Hiroshima, leveling buildings from Central Park to Lower Manhattan and causing up to 1.3 million deaths. That's right, 1.3 million deaths. Thought I'd make that part more fun. The fictional cataclysm was the culmination of a week-long tabletop exercise conducted at the biennial Planetary Defense Conference. Again, I don't think we are prepared for it. I know that they are doing a lot of weird stuff. What do you guys think? Give me a call at 224-400-MARF. Again, that's 224-400-MARF. Let's see. Facebook must be stopped from creating hiding places for child abuse, says NSPCC. Now, I'm not going to cover this in depth, but I will hit this real quick. It says the UK's child protection charity has accused Facebook of, quote, actively choosing to give offenders a place to hide in the shadows by seeking to encrypt its direct messenger programs. But Facebook says encryption is necessary to protect privacy and security. The National Security for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children is warning that, quote, child sex abuse will go undetected if Facebook starts encrypting its messenger programs. Okay, so wait a second. Dex, what do you think about this coming from a tech perspective?
This is absolutely the reason I brought this up. This is sort of nonsense. I think what you're seeing here, specifically, I've talked to many people and I say you need to be using messaging platforms that use end-to-end encryption, meaning that the two people talking are fully encrypted and they can talk to one another and it's private. And people like the officials and others can't see your messages. Now, what they're doing is they're using a cause and a reason to say we should give up that privacy. We shouldn't have this end-to-end encryption because we have this one use case, which I get. We're all in favor of stopping, this type of abuse, but we shouldn't necessarily, in my opinion, give up our privacy over this.
Okay, so when I was reading this, you added this one in here, and I did not see this before the show, and I was thinking this is the stupidest thing I ever heard because they can just I was like, are you kidding me? So all of Facebook should not have encryption like WhatsApp or Signal because it will protect the hiding places of these, perverts. What the hell are they talking about? Either way, these perverts have their codes. They have their stuff that they talk about. What are you talking about? And usually they don't work in big groups. Like, that's not how they get a hold of each other. Usually they're getting a hold of like a kid. This is just the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
This is a cover.
This is a cover.
It is absolutely a cover.
They're making it a public cause.
To find a way to get in. Yeah, and it's nonsense.
It
irritated me.
For once, I'm on Facebook's side on this. That sounds weird to say. I think that he's trying to, or at least he's trying to do some PR, and be like, okay, we need to get more private, right? And they don't want to do it. I mean, that's even sicker than what they're doing. Like, to use that cause, something we all can agree, all of us are going to say, yeah, no, we don't want that. It's like one of those things, like, like, oh, so you want to protect perverts. And of course your answer is going to go no. So you don't want to protect kids? Yes. It's like, okay, well then why would you encrypt? It's like, you're forcing people to like make their thoughts on this. Like, that's just dumb. And that's Instagram and WhatsApp. That's just crazy.
Hey, Adam, wait a minute. I just realized that, the perverts out there, they use door locks on their doors to their homes. I think we need to get rid of them all. So nobody need to have any door locks on your houses anymore. Just get rid of them. I agree.
Door locks are stupid. You have to turn them.
Yeah.
And the knob. Like, usually you have to do 2 turns instead of 1.
Just take the door off.
I'm actually considering,
and then doors, get rid of them.
Well, think about that. Think about how many hinges that would save. In fact, hinges would be a thing of the past. We wouldn't even have hinges. We wouldn't need hinges. In fact, hinges protect child perverts. I think you're right. I honestly think you're right on this. I think we should get rid of doors, especially glass clear ones. Those ones, for obvious reasons. What do you guys think? Do you think that Facebook should not include encrypting because it's going to protect these guys? Or do you think this is for some sort of reason? It's funny how they use causes like that because everybody has to agree. Nobody wants that to happen. Everybody wants to protect children, of course. Now it says, Jeremy Clarkson to Mad Greta Thunberg. Go back to school and shut up. It says the Grand Tour's Jeremy Clarkson has launched another rant at Greta Thunberg, saying that the self-professed climate messiah should go back to school and abandon her climate crusade. What's even funnier is, like, I didn't know before a few weeks ago that she she doesn't even take a plane because it's too much fuel. She actually takes a boat everywhere. So it's like, imagine getting sued by Greta Thunberg or something, and you're all sitting in court and be like, oh no, sorry, it's 14 more days until she gets here. Or she's late to work, like, by, 11 days. Like, yeah, it's McDonald's. Yeah, you're late for work 13 days. You've actually, by the time you get here, you've been fired for a whole pay period.
Or she shows up to a big event in Madrid, or not in Madrid, but in Chile, and finds out at the last minute they moved it to Madrid, and she can't get there because she's not going to take a plane.
That's pretty dumb. I'm sorry, but it's like really the little, I don't know. Yeah. It says, quote, she's mad and she's dangerous and she's causing young children sleepless nights with her idiocy. He told Sunrise of Thunberg, I think she needs to go back to school and shut up. This is a big guy saying this, so that's pretty, it says Clarkson, the former Top Gear presenter, made the comments as he talked on the Australian breakfast show Sunrise to promote Seamen. Seamen. And it's pretty much spelled the same. The latest special from his motoring series. Sea, like as in the sea, men. However, he acknowledged the efforts of climate change last month after learning firsthand about the water shortage in Cambodia's usually verdant Mekong River system while filming Seamen there. Wow. What do you guys think of the young climatologist, climate, protester? What do you think? Do you think that she's honorable? I mean, I don't dislike her or anything. I just think it's kind of crazy that in all of these instances we've used basically kids to get across a point. The mainstream kind of pushes them up and puts them literally on a pedestal and has them, if you know what I mean. And they're actually, getting scripts because they have been handed scripts before. I don't know about Greta, though. I don't know if she's doing her own stuff or if CNN or any of those are handing her one. Very weird. And we're sitting ducks. Australian politicians warn of threat from Chinese regime. So now Australia is actually nervous of China. It says more than a dozen Australian senators voted Tuesday calling in an investigation into Australia's relationship with China, with one politician saying that Australia is, quote, a sitting duck to foreign influence from the Chinese party. It says, we're sitting ducks here. We're leaving ourselves open and letting the Communist Party in China come in here and undermine our democracy, says Jack Lambrie. It says an independent Australian senator said late Tuesday in a response to a motion to start a Senate inquiry into Australians' relationship with China. The motion, led by crossbencher Rex Patrick, was supported by all the other crossbenchers, Senator Lambie, Griff, Hanson, Roberts, and Bernardi, senators from the Greens Party, who also supported the motion. Now, what do you think that this means, Dex, as far as politically?
Well, look, we see the tensions that we've got and the pushing that we're doing back with China over a trade deal, over human rights with Hong Kong and other events. So to see a major ally like this all of a sudden starting to take a position as well, and now mind you, it's not the entire government of Australia, but it's a big chunk of it is rising up and saying, hey, we need to look at this. So it's becoming part of the narrative in the space. It's sort of this alignment of the allies against China. People are starting to pay attention to this. So, we keep talking about it, and other people are starting to talk about it. Other countries are starting to bring it to the forefront of the mindset.
All right, so we are actually we're coming up at the hour, so we're going to go through these last couple stories here. I'm actually going to move through pretty quick, but this one is important. Ryan is secretly moving missiles into Ryak, U.S. officials say. It says Ryan, of course we say it a little bit differently here, has used the continuing chaos in Ryak to build up a hidden arsenal of short-range ballistic missiles in Ryak, part of a widening effort to try to intimidate the Middle East and assert its powers, according to American intelligence and military officials. The buildup comes as the United States has rebuilt its military presence in the Middle East to counter emerging threats to American interests, including attacks on oil tankers and facilities that intelligence officials have blamed on Ryan. Since May, the T-Man administration has sent roughly 14,000 additional troops to the region, primarily to staff Navy ships and missile defense systems. So with all of this going on, there is definitely some sort of little tip that just needs to be knocked over if something was to go off here. So this is essentially Ryan is stockpiling missiles. And it's only a matter of time before, they at least use one of them. I mean, this is not good news for anybody. Now, for this one, it says NK, very dangerous challenge if T-Man calls Kim Rocket Man again. So essentially, this is another one of their threats. They do it all the time, which I think that makes people totally just ignorant of all of their stupid threats. I think at one point they might do something stupid or feel like they have to do something stupid because of, T-Man doesn't stand down. T-Man, Commander-in-Chief, he will straight up tell him, you're a punk. Do something. My button's bigger than your button. Like, that's what he's done in the past. That's what he'll do in the future. And I think Kim knows that. I think at one point he's going to be like, he's either going to go too far, he's going to get angry, or he'll do something, whatever else. People know in his country. See, people take him as a joke since multiple movies have come out. What is that movie? What is it? It's not The Dictator. It's the... Is it The Dictator? The one that was taken down? He literally threatened conflict, or he threatened to hack the whole country or something if Sony released that film with what's his face. God, I can't remember the damn name. Do you know what I'm talking about, Dex?
Yeah, was it Boris?
The Interview.
Oh, who was it? Yeah.
The Interview.
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the guy's name.
Where they go and they hang out with Kim Jong-un and essentially made him look bad. They actually edited the whole movie. They did not release it in theaters, then released it on Netflix. This is how serious they take it too, because they threatened basically to, kill people at Sony if they put it out. So they didn't do it. Some of these people.
And then Sony got hacked.
And then Sony got hacked. That's right. And PS4s, all of them were down. It was a big thing. So they do have access to some of this stuff. They have access to hackers. They have stuff to some very smart people over there. People just totally underestimate it because it's such a crap little country. But I will tell you this, if they really do have nuclear technology, that's the only thing they have, and they have the ability. Here's the other thing too. They can hold a family, take the dad, say, hey, we're going to take your family and we're going to, knock them off this, the side of the planet if you don't go to America and do something extremely messed up. This has happened before, and, I believe we're going to see declassified stuff in a few years, that some of these gentlemen who have caused really bad stuff are actually people that have been sent from there to do, say, some sort of horrible deed. And again, Kim Jong-un has used families to actually get the men to do something crazy, to get thrown in prison, to do whatever. It says U.S. President DT's comments on military force and the North's leader, Kim Jong-un, would represent a very dangerous challenge if they intended to provoke Pyongyang, a top NK diplomat said on Thursday. T-Man's comments threatened to return the two countries to the tensions of 2 years ago. Chu Soi-hoi and Cho Sun-hui, first Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs for NK, said in a statement carried by the state news agency KCNA. So this is hilarious. In 2017, the two leaders famously engaged in a war of words, the T-Man calling Kim Rocket Man and NK slamming the U.S. president, now 73, as a dotard. Is it a dotard or a dotard?
I'm going with dough.
Dotard? Okay, we gotta put that on a shirt. I would gladly be a dotard. I think he probably would see it as a do-tard. So I'm doing things here. You're not. Since the T-Man and Kim have met 3 times, but negotiations over NK's nuclear weapons and ballistic missiles arsenal have stalled amid disagreements and rising tensions. So I don't know what is going on that keeps stalling stuff up. I mean, they seem like buddies, but people forget Kim Jong-un is like not all there. He's loopy. He grew up in this. Their family, he had people executed right in front of him. As a small baby child, this kid was like, they saw people tortured because they thought they were going against his father and his father's father. If people say are, accused of being a spy, I mean, they've killed people for having a DVD of Friends. Like, no joke. Like the actual show Friends with, Ross Geller and Monica, you have a DVD of any information from outside the country, certain people have been killed. So it's pretty nuts that they're just like constantly arguing. Who knows what's going to go on with that? Elon Musk's father has a baby with his stepdaughter, 40 years his junior. Now, I love how they put this, but essentially this is actually news that's a year old. The baby's a year. But this is news that nobody even knows about. Like, I never knew this, and I've covered the news every day for a year. Did you know this, Dex? I don't think...
No, this was news. This was news to me.
And the funny thing is it's not news. Oh my gosh. Okay, I've never seen it on the big screen. This guy looks just like frickin' Elon Musk. Holy crap. And don't tell me. I was going to say, if he doesn't drive a Tesla, that's just stupid. So Elon Musk says that he hates his dad, that his dad's a POS, which is kind of funny. He's standing in front of one of his cars. I wonder if he gave him that Tesla. Yeah, I mean, it's like, here, Dad, here's a $90,000, $100,000 Tesla. I hate you. Because that is most definitely a Tesla. And you'd think, oh, well, why does he hate him so bad? Well, apparently he's not only a D-bag, but, this is crazy. I didn't think about this. It says, and in this case, amidst all the talk about Elon Musk referring to Vern Unsworth as pedo guy and standing trial for it, Google searches for Elon Musk and pedo turned up another very interesting result. A little covered article by The Telegraph that claims Elon Musk's 72-year-old father, almost the same age as our president, Errol Musk, has a baby with his 30-year-old stepdaughter, Jana Bazundahoot. Is that really what it is? Bazundahoot? It's Bazudenhoot, whom he has known since she was 4 years old. So he helped change this kid's diapers, essentially. Was married to her mom then? Oh, that's just sick. It says Errol married Jana's mother, Hyde, when Jana was 4, but says he doesn't consider her to be his stepdaughter because she had been, quote, raised away from the family for long periods of time. That's sick. Sorry, there's no way to cut that. Errol Musk has described the baby he had with Jana as exquisite. Oh God, this guy's a freaking creepo. Oh, the baby is exquisite. This guy's a POS. He also had 2 children with Jana's mother. What? Okay, I mean, like, that's one thing. Like, if you might have dated the mom, broke up, dated the daughter or something, but you married the mother, had 2 children, had a full family. So that means that this daughter is brothers and sisters with your kids, like blood brothers and sisters. So, oh my God, that means her sisters or whatever the 2 kids that he had with Jana, that means they're the sisters and her daughters. So stepdaughters and sisters at the same time. There's no way
I'm calling Maury.
There's no way to cut this that's right? Like, Foogle Family, please answer me this. Do you think it's right? And by the way, we're not clowning on Elon. Obviously, Elon Musk, there's a reason why he hates this guy. One thing though that bugs me though, seriously, the $100,000 Tesla in the back, if this guy's that kind of freaking pedo stuff, don't give him a freaking car. Maybe he bought it. Maybe he's proud of his son's work. I don't know. Maybe he got a discount and still paid $80,000 or something. I don't know. No matter how you cut it, this guy, how do you do that kind of I'm sorry. How do you do that in public and like just not be that's disgusting.
He said, Elon said, he claims his father has committed almost every kind of crime imaginable. He is such a, I'm quoting here, such a terrible human being, you have no idea.
Just looking at it too, it's like you can tell, and from the pictures, me and you were like looking at all the groups of the pictures. When you Google her name, all these pictures show up. You can just tell she's had like a rough life. Like, this is just like messed up. I mean, the thought of her being 4 years old and he's like at that point 50 or 40. Yeah, he was 40 years old when she was 4, and looking down at her, and then 27 years later, them having a baby together, and then her hanging out with her sisters, and then after they have a baby, it's like, oh, her sisters are now her daughters. It's just, how do people do it? I don't know. This is like evil. Like God is left us like just horrible things, and this is accepted. Like, he could go to anywhere, work anywhere. People don't care about this kind of stuff anymore. This is like accepted as kind of normal. And yeah, most of us say that's not. But are people going to ban him from doing stuff? No. I'm sorry. That's disgusting. Woman on oxygen killed while smoking a cigarette. Ironic, right? This, you can go and actually read the rest of this article over on marfooglenews.com if you would like. Irony, of course. This I thought was even lower. Like, this is sick. This cemetery employees accused of stealing memorials, recycling them for cash. It says 2 employees of a Carroll County cemetery are accused of stealing dozens of memorials and selling them for profit. Thomas McAdams and Anna Millwood allegedly stole more than 72 bronze memorials from a storage room at the Meadowbrook Memory Gardens in the Villa Rica and sold them to a recycling center. According to authorities, they were arrested last week. So you're talking about, Dex, I guess we're talking about like these metal plaques or things like this, and then they're taking them in as like scrap metal, right?
Right. And some of them actually had the names of people that had pre-purchased them for their gravesite and to be used when the time was right to use them. They were taking them in small quantities, saying it's okay, this is being recycled. And it was worth a lot of money, apparently.
Yeah.
$300,000.
Holy crap. Yeah, it says Carroll County Sheriff's deputies were asked to look into the missing memorials November 22nd. The 72 memorials were valued at $4,500 each. How are they even worth that much? Bringing the total value... Oh, okay, so they're not worth that much when they were... This is what's screwed up. They're $4,500, I bet, like, to make them and stuff. But to recycle them, they're whatever the weight is in metal, I would think. How would you have $4,500 in bronze? You wouldn't scrap-wise, right? That would just be like the cost. But it brings it to $300,000, the sheriff's office said in a news release. It's absolutely sick. That's so messed up. Like, these families literally go to pay their respects to people. They go and, they are, like, this is where our world is. It's like everywhere you look, there's some sort of like deep and dark evil lurking. And out of all the places to do it, it's like disrespect the dead is absolutely one of the just lowest forms of crap I've ever seen. I just don't understand it. What do you think about it? If you're watching the replay, leave it down in the comments below. What would you do if somebody stole your dead father's memorial or your dead mother's memorial and sold it for metal scrap recycling? You know what I'm saying? I would love to see how many of you stuck around in this. I will be reading all of those comments, and I appreciate it. David Morrow, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the fam. Mr. Anderson, Christine Pound, thank you for joining the fam. Ilea Love, without doors, we'd have no knock-knock jokes. That's actually good, and you just came with that on the spot. Ilea Love, that was an awesome one. Mark Sketch says boats use much more fuel than aircraft. Greta is dangerous and stressing out young kids. Mark Sketch, good call. That's kind of funny you said that because I don't think she realized. I think it was a sailboat. That's what it was. That's even more irony. No, it was a sailboat, so they literally sailed across. It's so dumb. Rich Potter, I'm going to get to yours in a second here too. Appreciate it. If you guys want to end up supporting good companies and supporting the channel and protect yourself, check out EMP Shield. So normally a channel does an affiliate because they just do an affiliate. We actually think that EMP Shield is going to end up saving lives, and we have people in our group. This is an actual threat against the United States. If you knew our channel, then you'd know we're a little bit different because we have groups of people that are actually preparing for anything and anything. So again, EMP Shield is actually working with the Homeland Security and the Department of Defense, and now publicly announced helping the Texas grid. Now they're part of the new DEMSO, which is something we will talk about in the future, and it will be a big deal. It was domestic electromagnetic something ordinance. Basically, DEMSO is going to protect the Texas grid. Not to mention, they are helping the United States of America as far as T-Man signed a bill. This is a big deal because we have a ton of threats against this country as far as EMP-wise. EMPs could come from any one of our enemies. If the right spot is hit, they could knock out our entire power grid. And they say if our power grid goes down incomplete, then 90% of us would perish. If you own a house, a car, a ham radio, a solar system, then you need to have one of these devices. Again, you can actually get them on your vehicle, home, solar, motorcycle, even your boat, RV, and even your ham radio. Especially if you've got a bug out spot with solar protection. If you have a generator, if it doesn't work, then what the heck good is it? If your vehicle doesn't get you to your bug out spot, what good is it? And again, if you have all the devices in the world, if they don't work, then what the heck is it? You cannot put your whole house into a Faraday cage. So just get one of these and you'll be just as good. Again, what it does is it actually grounds the signal before it ends up frying your device. And this is tested by Keystone. This is how the military is protecting themselves, so protect yourself with it as well. Go to marfooglenews.com/EMP. You actually get $50 off per device. They are always happy to work with the Foogle Fam. Their customer service is amazing. These are handmade and also guaranteed to protect against lightning. And best part, it helps our channel grow. We are now trying to bring 2 more people on. We are trying to turn this into a legitimate news source. We have about 5 days until some things change. So who knows? We might actually need it for legal counsel as well. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Dex, I'll let you cover NordVPN because I'm just a dummy when it comes to computers. In fact, this is one of the ones I chose originally because it was so easy. I do not know what I'm doing computer-wise, and I have the most reason to hide kind of where I'm at. I've got a lot of kind of very unique people that have liked me over the past, and I'm so glad I had Nord over some of the other brands that did not work. This is an amazing product. Dex, can you explain Nord?
Look, Adam, it's made just for people like you. It's made for people like my mom. It's made for anyone that just needs to be protected, right? You don't have to be a geek to use NordVPN. VPN sounds like this big scary thing. It is so simple. You install it. You can run it on multiple devices. It's a light switch. You turn it on and you're protected. You turn it off and you're not using it. So simple. It protects you from the bad guys that are trying to infiltrate your network. They're trying to sniff out the information that's on your computer, watch everything that you're doing by using an encryption. And we just got done talking about how important encryption is, and the powers that be want to take that away from us. Don't do that. Encrypt yourself. Use something like a VPN. Protect yourself from all the connections you're making on the internet so that people can't get to that information. Okay? That's what's so valuable about this. And it's so easy to use. I think a lot of people get scared when they think about a virtual private network. What does it mean? No. You need to have some sort of security. It's another one of the tools you need to have to protect yourself online.
And not to mention up to 84% savings just for the Marfoogle family on their best plans. So make sure to head over there, marfooglenews.com/VPN. Again, especially if you are in with some of the groups, you guys are sending email addresses back or videos, all those kind of links. They can actually hide things in those links that could then grab your IP, that can then grab your credit card numbers. If you do online shopping of any kind, you need a VPN. If you go on Amazon and go buy your Christmas gifts on there, you need a VPN. I mean, it's as simple as that. All right, and then thank you guys for supporting us as well. We most definitely are trying to grow, and it's really hard in this climate, especially with all of our videos getting marked extended. It's just nuts. Nothing in this show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. We're going to start the call-in part of our show. The views of the callers can differ considerably from my own, Dex's, or anyone else who helps with the show. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. And then, of course, the internet is always full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. That's exactly why it's so important that you guys and ourselves, we all try to get as close to whatever we can, the truth as we can together. We need to really work on this. And I really appreciate all of you guys being here every night. I really mean that, especially if you're watching on a device or on a TV or however you're watching. I appreciate it. If you want to share out or even go over to the other channel, make sure you know there's also marfoogle.news or Marfoogle News over on YouTube as well. That channel is actually over 146,000 subscribers. So we are actually coming up on 250,000 total subscribers between this channel and the other. If you want to go check it out in any browser, just type in marfoogle.news. And then if you want to get to this channel or share this channel, MARFOOGLE.TV. If you want to make bumper stickers, put it on your car, share it with the world, that's up to you. If you want to put it on a poster or on a telephone pole, that's up to you. If you do, though, do what others have done and send a picture or email us a picture or put it on Instagram that you did it. All right. And then, of course, if you have created videos on YouTube, if you are a small creator, please join us. And then if you want to prep with others, Discord is extremely important. Here's the thing. You might be all alone after something really big happens, or even if you think you have family and all this and that. If you want to meet like-minded people that aren't going to think you're crazy, go to Discord. This is a free service. This isn't something for sale. This is something that we put a lot of time and effort into. People like Clan Mama, who's one of our mods, several of our mods are in there all the time trying to manage 11,000 plus people. This is a lot of work. This has caused more headaches than any YouTube problem, anything. And you know why we love it? Because you guys are getting together and you guys are prepping. This is the most amazing thing ever for so many people. Like, we had a recent death where the gentleman said that the Marfoogle family was his family. The literal people that he met every Sunday. It was pretty amazing to know that this channel has started something that has gone way past what I originally thought it was going to be. I was just trying to warn people about Cascadia, and now it's turned into full-on people getting together that are all like-minded. And like-minded does not mean have to be exact-minded. You don't always have to agree. And that's what we push in our chat. You'll see my mods pushing the same stuff every time that you can disagree, but be nice about it. Be polite. Like, let's be okay with each other having different views. That's what happens. We're all getting super mad that everybody does not think the exact same thing as us. We should know just as much. I mean, come on, you guys are truthers. You're not going to, somebody's going to go down a different path and think 100% in their brain that they're right. And you're thinking it too. If you've ever been proved wrong later on, something you 100% thought was true, like everything in the world, and then it blew up in your face because it ended up all being a lie, then who knows if what you think is another lie. So again, if you have a different view from others, think about it that way. Think about something you have been lied to your whole life, you totally believed, and then boom, totally blew up in your face. Get together. Creators Corner channels with 100 plus subs and 20 plus vids. Get in there. We only have 5 days until the big change on the platform. Get in there quick. We are pooling together. We're going to do a project, so please get in there. I'm getting big creators, talking to Edge of Wonder, talking to all sorts of creators, upwards of 1.5 million subscribers, 900,000 subscribers, 700,000 subscribers. So there's going to be some big names in there. MarfoogleNews.com. Make sure to sign up for Marfoogle alerts. Like I showed you before, it's all at that top bar. If you want to support us and take your time and actually watch a really great movie, if you go to marfooglenews.com/earthing, you'll also have the chance to actually watch the Earthing movie with Amy Smart, Muriel Hemingway, Deepak Chopra. Just right after, just a couple months ago, they did the red carpet release where they actually went, with the folks that we talked to. We talked to Muriel Hemingway here on this channel. We've done interviews with her and Clint Ober, the man behind all of it. And again, ground therapy is something that is absolutely amazing. If you've never done it before, or earthing, it's something people have been doing for decades. It is amazing. It decreases inflammation, which is a root cause of all these other symptoms. It has helped my digestive system, and it's also helped my sleep. As you guys know, I started this channel at 1 a.m. I would do my show from 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. to 5 a.m., whatever time I was up. I don't have sleep issues anymore because I sleep on one of the mats. You actually plug it in and it grounds you to the earth. It's crazy. I can't say enough good about it. And of course, there's plenty of people in the chat that have done this for years, probably some before I was born. And it really is that awesome. And then if you want to support a charity, go buy one of our shirts. 100% of the proceeds are going to Cars for Heroes. So we help out the veterans in America that may not be able to afford transportation. That's what Cars for Heroes does. So not 10%, not 50%. 100% of our shirt money goes to the veterans for vehicle and transportation causes at carsforheroes.com. All right, marfooglenews.com/t-shirts if you want to purchase a shirt. All right, and again, that goes to them, not us. All right, now let's get back to it. Again, if you want to join the alerts, you can go to marfooglenews.com. We're going to get our first call in here. Let's see here. And it looks like we've got Eugene up first. I'm just going to go whap, and then the music's going to stop, and Eugene's going to start. Bam. See, I told you. Eugene, you are live on Marfoogle TV. What's going on?
How are you, man?
Good. Okay,
I just wanted to share some. I had some ring spotlights on my parents' house, and I was just going through them from yesterday's just to see if anything had happened, because I, taking care of my parents' house and everything, and all of a sudden I looked and I saw this, like, I thought was the moon, and all of a sudden it just started falling. So then I went ahead further, before that, and there was another one before that, which had just been a meteor or something, but it was just really weird because it stood still for the longest time, and then all of a sudden.
Okay, so I'm playing this video. So something is going to be, so it's obviously a...
If you go to the one on the right, where it says, that was the ending part.
Okay, hold on. All right. Wow. So these are all Ring Door videos. Wow. Look at this. This is so awesome. Thank you for calling me first. Okay, hold on.
So if you go to the one all the way, that's the first one.
Okay,
and
so...
if you look at that spot right there in the left, see how it's just standing still right there, that white spot?
Yeah.
On top. And then...
Wait, so you're saying that's falling?
Yeah, well, watch it. It'll all of a sudden it'll just start falling.
Okay, hold on. I've got the screen. Nobody can see it because I've got the thing cropped. Hold on. You guys got to see this. This is nuts. Oh, my gosh. Okay, hold on.
It was just a moon.
Hold the heck on. Do you guys see this? I'm going to make it as big as I can without cropping it out. That blue dot up here, if you guys... Can you guys let me know you can see my mouse?
You can.
You can see it?
Yeah.
Okay, right up here, folks, if you see my mouse moving around, if you can see that on your... What in the heck is that? Now, have you shown anybody else this yet?
No.
So this is our... you gave it to Marfoogle News as an exclusive. You've seen it here, folks. Wow, that is incredible.
That was last night at 11 o'clock, 11:30 until midnight, and then it went over. But at 10:50 or 10:38, there was one, because I went further back just a few minutes ago to see if there was anything else. It was another one that fell in the exact same spot, and then that's after it fell, that's when that spot stayed there.
What in the world? Wait a second. Look at this. Just to zoom in, you guys. So that's not the moon.
No, not at all.
Let me see. I'm going to
go
all
the way to the end. You'll see it.
Okay, I'm going to go back. Let's see. Look at that. What in the world? And did you not know? Do you normally check out your thing?
Yeah, but I check it because the house isn't vacant right now, so I had to put those in there to make sure that, to keep an eye on it. But
there's a blue flash.
Is that
the whole street is a blue flash.
And it made the lights go on the neighbors' houses. And the other thing is that Let's see. It didn't make the ring light go off, but it's really weird. But I have another one that was right before that, but I didn't upload it. It was really, I just saw that one tonight.
What in the world is this?
And then you'll see it at where it just disappears after that. I tried to get it on one full video, but it wouldn't let me share it like that.
I'm so confused what that is. How long do you think it was up in the sky?
Let me check it real quick. On the ring.
It's like it was there for a while, but it's like you were at an angle where it was just flying, and then all of a sudden it's like boom. That's not so that. Yeah, and by the way, the time frame. This isn't a sped up video. This is actual. It's like a minute. So a minute up in the sky, right?
The first one that I didn't upload, I just found right now, was at 10:05 p.m. and it fell. But it didn't fall all the way down. It fell to that spot. At 10:36, it stayed at that spot and stayed there until 10:40. Then it started falling. Is that not weird?
Oh, that's very weird. And now that I'm watching it carefully, you can see it's like the pulsating around it. It's that is so odd.
At 10:40, when it started falling, it
did you cut out?
It took a while, but
what's weird is you can see bugs flying by in real time, and this thing is like slowly changing. Look at it. Look at it. Yeah, it's not the moon. I thought I'm like blown away by this because it it actually changes right in front of you, and you watch it closely, and from the beginning it looks like this. But as you go through, it actually changes. Look at that. Oops, I fast forwarded too quick. Look at it. I'm rewinding and going forward frames. Oh, that is so flippin' weird.
Yeah.
Well, hey, thank you for the exclusive. Can you upload that other one? And could we possibly share that?
Yeah, no problem. I can do that.
All right. So if you guys want to see, if you want to go over and subscribe, Eugene Martinez is his name. And this is the picture he uses. What a great video. You should look at that kind of stuff all the time. That's one reason I've got cameras like old school with DVR, and it does alert or text me, but it doesn't. I don't like the rings just because of the whole thing. But it's like for that reason, I almost want a ring. Everybody keeps catching it.
I thought about you when I saw that, when you said, man, I'm going to put my camera facing up towards the sky. I remember you telling me that.
Well,
on the TV.
This is a great catch, Eugene. Great catch.
And then I have one last thing that I wanted to tell you. Remember when you were talking about how they were going to do the solar for everybody, and they have the satelllites up in the sky that submit the power and all that everybody's going to have to pay to get everything from whoever owns the all the solar.
Yeah.
That company, it's Solarian or whatever, I can't remember, that's here in California, and they've already made deals with a lot of foreign countries already, Japan, Russia, and a bunch of other countries. So, and they're in Spain, and they already have all these big circular reflectors already set up. So yeah, and PG&E has made a deal with them to they've already bought power from them to service central part of California, which will be their starting point, and that's where I live.
So, Eugene, I love that you're looking out for exactly what we're talking about. So I'd love for you to call in and keep in touch with us, okay?
All right, brother. Thank you. I appreciate all your help, and thank you.
And as far as those power things are concerned, you know, we're going to see a whole lot more of craziness. So how close are you to those? Can you like drive and just see them, or?
No. Here in California where I live, they have I live in Visalia, so where I work is like 14, 15 miles away. And then there's a naval station about, I'd say, 17 miles from where I live. And there's, in the farming communities here, they have like solar farms also that run their businesses, but that's the only thing I've seen. But I was talking to a person that is because we have I work for Costco, and we have a lot of the naval people come in. And I was talking to this one person about China Lake. And I go, yeah, I heard, and I was, trying to see what I could get from them. And I heard they evacuated everybody out of there. And you should have seen the look on their faces, like they were happy. And as soon as I brought up that, they just like slammed up and they didn't even want to talk. So, yeah, it's going on there.
There's definitely something going on in China Lake, and the fact that they got that $100 million sent them right after the earthquake is really quick money. Well, Eugene, I would love to talk to you again. Please call in. I love that video, and you have a great spot to see the whole sky. Yeah, with your permission, I would love to show that other one that you have, and check the rest of that night to see if there's anything else.
All right, I will. Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too, Eugene. Nice meeting you. Bye-bye. Yeah, Eugene's got a really good head on his shoulders. If you guys want to go over and subscribe, I'm sure now after actually getting some subscribers, he most likely will be watching the sky. That was a great video because you can see it changing over time. You probably won't be able to see it on your phone, but if you actually go to that video and zoom in, if you are in desktop mode, you can actually see it kind of changing and scrolling. Somebody said that was Elon playing with his rockets. I don't know. Or his sister's rocket. Okay, let's see here. We've got Renee Thomas. You are always got some good info. What's going on today?
Okay, I've got an overload, but 3 stories kind of go together. The first story should be your 2 mortars land inside Balad or Balad. I guess that's how you say it.
Okay, I'll pull it up. I've got some articles here that you've pointed out. So let's go here. So Renee Thomas actually has a call-in show as well. She has compiled 4 amazing articles here. In fact, she always blows me away on what she finds. Okay, so let's see here. All right, so we've got mortars hit Ryak's Balad Air Base. Now, this is today. This is brand new news right now.
Mm-hmm. This one happened today. And, of course, it hosts U.S. servicemen. Of course, we don't have, bases over there, but we have servicemen at both the Balad base and the AIN al-Assad base. And the same story is basically in this one that I think I have a separate article for, but it's the Newsweek, so you can actually probably skip that. But in this one here, you can see that 2 days ago, there was another 5 rockets that struck I guess that's Ain Al Assad Air Base in western, I don't want to say the key word there. Anyway, we've had rockets hit, within 2 days apart, a couple at Balad, and then the other one had 5. And both of them have U.S. service members, right? The Newsweek story, that's the one that, one of the Newsweeks, you could probably skip. I forgot that it had mentioned both of the rockets in there. But then there's a story from the Pentagon, moles sending 7,000 troops, I believe is what it says, additional to the Middle East. Now, I think that yesterday they had said something about sending 14,000 troops, but they're retracting that, and they're saying they're only going to send 7,000. But in this article, it says it's down at the bottom.
Isn't that funny how I said that the other day, that we never know how many they're actually sending? Look at this. They changed it again.
Right. But doesn't make sense considering obviously we're under attack. I mean, 2 bases that host U.S. service members, and the Al-Abad, the one that happened a couple of days ago that had 5 rockets. Vice President Pence was just there at Thanksgiving feeding the soldiers. So we have U.S. military men there. So obviously it doesn't make sense to me to say that we're not, but we do have a good chunk of men there, because if you go down to the bottom, it says that we have over 60,000 American troops there, and that's just kind of takes care of those 3 stories.
Wow, look at this. Look at this. So remember how I said they say that there's this many, and we never know how many are there, right? Yeah, it says.
Right.
It says, look at this. It says, since May, the Pentagon has deployed over 14,000 additional forces, half aboard warships to the Middle East, to join over 60,000 American troops. So that could actually be 74,000 American troops. They're piling and piling and piling. This is as many. I mean, we were complaining when there was 8,000 left still in Iraq, right? Remember this when at the end of Obama? It was like, oh, get them out of here. We still have 8,000 troops there. Now we have over 60,000.
Right, exactly. And that's a lot of soldiers in one area.
That's enough soldiers to fit a football stadium. I mean, that's a lot of people.
Almost. That is a lot. And to think that we're not doing anything, or we're not hearing anything about it. We know that there's war going on over there. Obviously, we've got incoming rockets that are, hitting the bases the guys are staying at.
Somebody says they're preparing for something major. Let me go to the chat real quick. I'm gonna pull you guys up so you become the start of the show real quick. I want to see what you're saying, and then I'm gonna load this last article that you pulled up. NASA is sending 2 Phantom Women dummies. Explain what the. Oh no! Wait a second. The Black Hawks. Okay, let me get the Black Hawks one.
Yeah, I have. Like I said, I did an overkill. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
But there was so much news. I just couldn't pick.
No, this is good.
Anyway.
3 soldiers killed when Minnesota National Guard Black Hawk crashes. You guys probably thought I said something different, huh? 3 soldiers aboard a Minnesota Army National Guard helicopter were killed after a UH-60 Black Hawk crashed during a flight from an Army aviation facility in St. Cloud, Minnesota. What do you think about this, though? We keep... that's very sad for the 3 gentlemen in there. My heart goes out to their families.
Yeah, my heart goes out to the families, and I know that, it could have been an accident. Of course, it happened rather quickly because it was like with 9 minutes after they took off, there was a Mayday call. And I actually was watching this on Agenda TV or whatever, and he had the scanner on. You could hear everything that was on the scanner, and he said something about a drone. So I'm just kind of, I don't know, was it an accident or was it, something else? I mean, I don't know, and I hate throwing any kind of, conspiracy out there, but I think it's just kind of unfortunate that this situation, these things happen, and it seems like that we keep having more and more of these situations. I mean, I think that this story here lists a couple of the other helicopters that went down at the bottom of it. I don't know if you've got the same story I do, but I've had several different stories. But it lists a couple of, like the 2 Apache pilots that were killed in the helicopter crash in Afghanistan. And I think there was another one that they mentioned that just happened pretty recently as well. But in Fort Polk, there was an incident. And then there was an incident with some helicopters in Mississippi, if I'm not mistaken, but it was, or no, it wasn't the helicopters, it was the parachuters. Just a lot of accidents, I think, but pretty freak accidents.
And sorry, and by the way, somebody said, I hope you're not laughing at you. I am so sorry. I was just, the whole time we were talking, somebody said, yeah, a big Black Hawk. And, it was such a childish joke, but I realized I said that and it's totally going to be clipped.
You're good.
There's only one size Black Hawk, by the way. They're all the same size, and they're all equally deadly.
Did I say something wrong?
No, you didn't. You didn't say anything wrong. No, okay. Renee, you always have the best news. You actually go, somebody said something about how let's see. I wanted to get back to this gentleman who said something and it was so freaking so true. Let's see. Mosquitoes and butterflies type of life. Hey, what's up? Sean Boland, Jstone78. My wonderful and beautiful mod. Freedom Matters. Can you just spell out the words that you're not wanting to say? Asking you, but I think you actually cleared it up. Craig Mumbo, I get so much done listening to you, Marv. Thanks for making laundry easier to get through. Love from Australia. Well, thank you, Craig Mumbo, and thank you for watching all the way over there. Over 3,000 watching, 258 thumbs up. Do you not like Marv or something? Thank you, Rebel Snarfle. A couple new names. What's up, Slim Hussein? Preston Robert. What's up, Smoke and Mirrors? Calvin Rubio. Lord Rothschild is like Mr. Burns and Dr. Evil put together. Optics are high. What's up, Snaps? IB Rules. May. Syrup comes from maple trees, sugar maples, and others. What are you guys talking about? It is what it is. Marv, can you call me, please? We have not really during the show, unfortunately. Pillsbury Doughboy, I read something about YT deleting content that doesn't generate money. We don't know. It happens in 5 days. If you're a creator, get into the creators group there in Discord. But Renee, I wanted to keep you just a little bit longer, and I wanted to make sure to send people over to your channel. Renee does a really great job on her own channel as well. So I'm going to zoom out here, and I'm going to take you over to Renee's channel. Renee Thomas. And I hope you guys... do a really good job of going over there and saying hi. Let's go to her channel and then zoom out. She's super good. Every time you call in, you get, I don't know if you're getting the news after we go live, but you always come out with new news that's like great. So she runs a better channel than I do. So please go over and subscribe to her. The Truth. Look at this. Boom. So Renee Thomas, and it has the Truth Factor logo on there. Is there anything else you wanted to say before you left, Renee Thomas?
Okay, there was 2 other stories real quick. NASA sent in the 2 Phantom dummies, and I just was going to say that story there will kind of feed into the moon people that don't believe that we ever went to the moon, basically because they say they're sending the dummies to measure how much radiation the dummies get. One's going to be in a suit and the other one's not. But why are we measuring and testing to see, how much radiation they're going to receive if we've already sent people to the moon? Anyway. That's
a super good point.
I'm just saying,
Well, and it's like, where did those people, what's his face? I mean, it's just so weird. It's like, and they, that, what do you call it? A singing birthday card, when you open it up and it goes, happy birthday to you. The microchip, the little chip that runs that card is as advanced as the lander when we supposedly went to the moon. Did you realize that? The computer is just as strong as the computer that was on the lander.
I didn't realize. That's crazy. But I mean, the article, I just thought it was interesting that we're sending dummies, to the moon to measure radiation. If we've been to the moon, we should know these things, and that's.
And if we've been to space like 10,000 times with people, right? There's always somebody on the ISS. How do we not know kind of where this is at right now?
Right, exactly. And it mentions this, see, it says investigating the effects of space radiation on astronauts. Well, if we've been in space, how do we not know the effects of radiation?
And they're talking about the what is it? What is the belt? Dex, can you chime in if you know the
Van Allen belt?
The Van Allen belt. That correctly. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. So that is one of the things behind the FE movement. Of course, this platform doesn't like those guys either. Where Earth is, one of these things,
That's it. I'm sorry. but it is what it, I mean, you can't, I don't know how I would have said that word, and I'm sorry that if that got you in trouble.
Oh no, I didn't even know. Sometimes I say T-Man, but I say his name. It's hard not to say things. Your brain doesn't even think about it. Well, thank you for coming on, Renee, and I appreciate you, and you have a lovely night, okay?
Hey, Marv, there's one more story. You can share it without me if you want, but it's there was a UPS situation in Florida that killed 4 people, a shootout.
Oh, okay. Dex, do you already have that up, or do you want? Dex will pull it up, and we'll actually get that on there, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
Marv.
All right. Bye-bye. Let's see here. Up next, we have Fatty McButterpants. Fatty McButterpants, you were live on Marfoogle TV. What's going on?
Hey, Mars, how are you?
Good.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes. And I okay. No offense, but I thought Fatty McButterpants, I only see a screen name. And I kind of knew what your personality was like, but I did not see Fatty McButterpants as a woman.
Well, believe it or not, excuse me, I'm not the only one on YouTube either.
That's so funny.
There's quite a few.
Well, so you...
my name is Sue.
You wanted to talk about COPPA and the Ohio incident, so go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say something about COPPA. COPPA is not a bad thing. What a platform does with it is, iffy. I don't own it, so I can't say, but I caught my grandchildren watching, games being played. People are playing their games, and an adult would be in the background talking about suicide and sex and a whole lot of other stuff, and my grandchildren got banned from YouTube entirely. So there is a purpose behind it, and it's not new. Like I said, whatever happens now.
Well, did you know that COPPA is actually more, geared towards advertising and targeting children as far as like the advertising goes? No, like my concern with my grandchildren, I watch them.
you know, is what the content they're seeing. And I get the cookies and all that too, but, you know, some people that are, you know, bugging the lawmakers about all these things are usually some mother groups and, you know, whatnot.
Well, see, here's the thing, though. If kids are watching it, what happens, and what happened with my kids too. And trust me, I know exactly what videos you're talking about, where you are on there and you all of a sudden your kid goes from watching like Elsa and Anna like playing with little dolls, like, hi, I like you, I love you too, let's go play in the pool, and like, and then that goes from that to a guy playing, you know, Minecraft, and he's like, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna smash him, and I'm gonna cut off his head, and like he's playing Minecraft, but doing all these adult things, and the kind of pretend thing he's doing is creepy. And I bet all of you, if you have kids that watch YouTube, have seen that, right? And you're like, okay, now what the heck? I can't. It goes from that video to that. Like, what the heck? And it's because that guy has been, you know, somehow classified as you know, kids or whatever, or it's related because they're watching a good Minecraft video and then it turns into a nasty, horrible Minecraft video. So they wanted to stop that, but as a parent, I should have, or they should have, an option to hand the phone to your kid and turn on like a kids mode. And I know they have, you know, YouTube Kids, but have it the same. So, but you just click one button, switch it over, and it takes a password to take it back out. And then they can go to the new content that's to the kids. The problem with the COPPA stuff, though, and why people think it's bad, is because they are not going to, if you're a kid's creator, right? You're the one putting the money and the effort and the time into creating that content for these family friendly things. There's no money in it now because, and I'm not talking about like nothing. They're not going to notify you. You won't be able to download it for later. You're not going to be able to share it. You're not going to be able to comment on it. So you can't have any interaction with other kids who likes the thing or whatever, right? You will not get notifications when they actually post. So what is the point? I mean, it's like totally, and then you cannot have the advertising that actually does pay anything. So, and you can't advertise towards kids, so you can't do any kind of thing like that. So you're basically saying all the creators that create for kids are just going to disappear because there's no money in it. I mean, if they outlawed oranges and you're on a fruit line, you know, there's apple, oranges, and bananas, and they all of a sudden say that you can't have oranges or you can't charge more than a penny, are you going to still show up every day and sell your oranges? No. You're going to pack up and leave. So, no, I think COPPA is a good thing. I just don't think how they did it, it's like, you know, we parents should be responsible too. It's
a shame that every law that's made is misused and or abused so much.
And it's sad. Like our grandkids and your grandkids and my kids and stuff, it's like, you know, I just wish I wish there was a better solution to it than this, because they're going to lose out big time. And then these changes are already taking people out left and right. I'm, of course, an adult. All my kids like Legos, but I love collecting them as like a collector thing. Like I like the Ultimate Collector series. Just having something like Voltron or you know, Star Wars in my background, that could turn, that could say that my channel... Kid. Exactly. So I'm just saying, it's not good. But Fatty McButterpants, I've seen your name for a while here in chat. You know, other than that, is there anything else that you want to talk about or you want to say?
Yeah. I wanted to talk about a video I caught the other day. I was doing a video filming my phone in a tin can. I have a government phone. And we've all been concerned about, you know, why does the president want to have to send us alerts all the time? And why do we all have to be able to, he has to get us all on the phone? Well, I keep my government phone in a can, thinking that it's protecting me from drawing an extra signal into my home. And it's binging and banging and bonging in a tin can. So I'm trying to catch this on film. So while I'm doing it, there's an Amber Alert comes through on the phone while I'm trying to take it out of the can. So trust me, folks, the Faraday situation is not going to stop a presidential alert or anything else they want to send through that phone.
So you're saying you put a phone, kind of one of the simpler phones, in a Faraday cage, and it did not stop the message?
In a can, yep.
Huh.
It's there's a link for the video. It's only a few seconds. If you want to watch it, you could see you take the can. Well, it's not like I'm proving free energy like some of those videos and they fake stuff. I was just taking it out of the can to try and show you, and an Amber Alert was coming through right on the video.
Wow, this is incredible. Hold on. Okay, let me load this up, and then Dex, after this call, we'll show you the UPS situation. Okay, so let's see here. All right, I'm gonna play this.
Is it listening to you? Okay. I've been wanting to take this video all day and I cannot get it to cooperate because when I put this phone in the can, it was still receiving a signal. So I decided to, do it on tape and, get a video of it so I could show that to you. Sorry, I'll pick the phone back up in a second. I'm trying to open this can. And it's ringing while in the can while I'm trying to open it. Okay, it's been in this can. And while I was trying to get it on video and show you that, an Amber Alert. Okay, I just took it out of the can and the phone was beeping and going off. And take my word for it, you don't have to believe me, but this phone was in this can and receiving signals. I couldn't hardly believe it myself, but it is a government phone. You see, I am obviously on the network to receive alerts and warnings from whoever, the government, whatever, getting Amber Alerts. I'm also getting YouTube notifications and all kind of other things. But this is a government phone, the free phone. And I'll get another video of this, but...
Now, that is pretty ironic that it came through at the same time you were doing the test, as far as, specifically
right?
in Amber.
Yeah, and people in chat, I don't know exactly what a Faraday cage is, but if you put your phone in a can, I expect the signal to stop. It
depends on what the metal is made of. It really does. I don't know. As far as I know, people argue like, well, that can isn't good enough for this or it. Still, you would think it would stop a lot of that.
Whatever.
But I will say this, just period. These the Ambers, the presidential alert. I did. So I don't know if you guys know this, but in fact, look, turn off your phone October 3rd. You guys might remember this video. I don't know if you guys...
yeah, I turned my phone off.
Oh, well, you know what's so funny? Look at this. That's... Okay, yeah, it is on the first 5 videos, but this is me, right? 1 million views. This is actually my video from last year.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of alerts now, too. You're getting a lot of alerts. I noticed a change in the algorithm. Even your old videos are coming up in the recommended.
Oh, really? Like old.
I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but yeah, and they'll even replay like a few videos of the same person that you look up, and they stopped doing that for a while. It's definitely changing.
I know something is happening, and then this under this, I want to say, you look at these names. Again, all of them have changed. It's so crazy. But this was 1 million views by like the 3rd or 4th day. Oh, look at that. I forgot about this. Believe it or not, they have access to the internet too, and they have a fail-safe to anyone turning off their phone. Actually, Richie doesn't like me, but he is right about that. Now, as far as this goes, this was one of my biggest videos because we were talking about the whole the catchers, the ISI catchers, and the whole thing. And I called this on October 2nd. On October 3rd, did you know that Edward Snowden actually confirmed exactly what I said the next day? Edward Snowden watched this video. That's what's so crazy. He confirmed exactly what I said. That's when I started blowing up.
Did you ever think this would happen when you were watching Marf? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Did you ever think when you were watching Marfoogle that this would all happen to you?
No. When I was doing when it was early? No.
Yeah, the old videos. What were you, Watusi Marf? I forget the name. Watusi Fufu?
It was Marfoogle Watutu News. That was my original name. And this channel didn't exist. I did this channel because I got striked on the main channel, Marfoogle News, because I did the David HOGG video where he was repeating his lines. I never thought of this. And if you look at my old setup, it was just a green screen. It was a cheap, like, Amazon $30.
Oh, I remember you in the kitchen in the dark.
I know, you guys, seriously, for people like you that have stuck around for everything, I just appreciate you. Like, understand that, yeah, I've done this for a long time, so I also have to make this entertaining for me. You just slowly get better at, being on camera or whatever, but I really appreciate the people that have stuck with me through all of it, because the main point is I'm trying to warn as many people as possible and get you guys all together outside the group. Anybody who's met me outside of this knows that what's more important than the show is people meeting in Discord and preparing for stuff. So I appreciate you, Fatty McButterpants, as much as that sounds
well. Your
weird.
Sincerity comes through, Marf, or people wouldn't be here. You are sincere. Your heart is good, and you're doing the right thing, and that's why you're becoming successful at it.
Well, thank you so much, Fatty McButterpants. I appreciate you more than you know.
I'm not done yet, Marf.
Okay, go ahead.
The subject is today, the Ohio evacuation.
Oh, yes, that's right.
The first report, Vlad Groots put out an alert. Thanks, Vlad, because I wouldn't know anything if you guys didn't put any news out. The first report said that they were suspected the nuclear thing, and he had EMF burns, and the title said electromagnetic frequency burns, right? 15 minutes later, the next report said, it was a capacitor, right, that was built. And I wanted to point something out to people. I'm sure everybody's seen targeted individuals somewhere online, at some time. And I was actually working on a video after that report came off when you came on live, putting out some of the patents and things for the mind control and the active denial systems and the weapons. This guy is probably a targeted individual, called for help, and I'll bet you $10 that he is going to end up in a mental ward. I don't think they meant to let that come out on the news that way.
Are you talking and which one, the truck chase or the radio frequency burns?
No, the guy where they evacuated the neighborhood. He called in because he said that he was being burned by EMF waves. He said he was being burned by EMF, electromagnetic frequency.
And people said...
That's what he said originally.
Yeah. But he had a nuclear device in his garage.
Yeah. Then they said that they were thinking radioactivity, and they made a mistake, and they had already put that out. See, radio frequency burns? They had already put that out, and then they started saying nuclear, and then they went to, oh no, he was building a quantum physics machine in his garage, and a capacitor burned him. But he didn't have any burns on his skin. So it sounds like they made a quick cover on that to me, because to me it sounds like
that's what I'm saying.
He was targeted and he was hit with a microwave weapon.
That's exactly what I'm saying. The news gets handed a piece of paper and they go, okay, radio frequency burns. By the way, Vlad Groots is on top of this. Another thing is here's one thing that I used to love about, just getting on and talking about a headline story, right? Good channels for this. Grand Supreme News. Dabu is always usually first. He doesn't like me either, but I will say this. He is always on first on the news, right? But check this out. Vlad Groots, right? Look at him. Vlad is a friend of the fam and 1.6 thousand subscribers, and he's trying to find his spot, and he's literally getting these things the second they come out, And that's how I used to be. I would,
That is so
but
kind.
I can't do that now. Because of that. So you got to go to these guys. These guys are where the real spot on news is. Make sure to subscribe to these guys and go there for your breaking news. Here we put it all together and we try to talk about it with the Foogle family. But these guys are much better at getting the story right away. So, all right. Well, thank you so much for calling. Is there anything else?
Nope, I just want to say Vlad Groots and Snafu Snaps are the reason I found the Foogle Fam currently. So shout out to both of them. Great guys, both have great channels. And you're all great. Love everybody I'm meeting here. I got tired of being told I'm crazy by people I know, and now I find a whole bunch of people who don't think I'm crazy.
Absolutely. Great. No, I agree with you. That's the whole point of it. This is Snafu Snaps, the other person she's mentioning. Again, well, I'm so glad that they introduced you to me, and I appreciate it. So you have a great night, Fatty McButterpants, or McButter Fatty Pants. Fatty
You can call me Fatty for short, Mark.
Okay, Fatty. Let's now. This is the beginning of a beautiful relationship. You have a great night.
I'll be signing up for your Creators Corner soon.
I hope so. Are you not at the requirements yet, or is that what?
I just hit 100, and you know what? I looked at my thing, and I have 86 videos, and for the life of me, who knows what they're about? I don't remember making that many. So I just got them.
Okay, and also we're gonna put all of their channels on. Oh my gosh, this is Fatty McButtprints. This is not you, and it's 60,000. This is 60,000 subscribers. I'm Fatty McButtprints, and it's AKA Fatty. So actually, they go by Fatty too. That's so funny. There's Fatty McButterpants. Okay, so we will get your. Okay, do you have a picture of you?
It's on the website
with white hair.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got your channel, and it's on the website. It's on marfooglenews.com.
That's me.
Okay,
you
all right.
almost had your challenge for TikTok because I was dyeing my hair before I called in, and I got put on hold, and I was really afraid it was going to fall out before I got on the call.
Oh my gosh.
So that would have been your TikTok challenge if I was bald.
Oh my gosh. And by the way, I'm so glad people like you actually listen to the stuff that I'm saying. So thank you. Yeah, we're going to do something with TikTok to get a message across. Because I'll tell you guys about it later. We're not trying to support TikTok. We're going to do something that gets a message across. So it's going to be fun. Don't download it until we get to that point. It'll just be a temporary thing, and then we can delete it. All right. Well, you have a good night, Fatty McButterpants. Love you. Thank you so much for the. Yep. Bye bye. Again, this is how cool this show is. It is already on the website, marfooglenews.com. Up next, we have Sean, and holy moly, we've had over 3,000 people here for a while now. Thank you guys. And then again, under this, boom, you click this live show, and then look what happens. Bam. Caller info, Renee Thomas, Fatty McButterpants, Sean, boom. All right, can you send over, or Red Rover, can you send Sean right over? And then Mark Sketch, thank you so much for that again. Says boats use much more fuel. Kelly Cadabra. The other day I was in ER for a stomach ache and suddenly in Oregon for gallbladder removal. Just as I was going under, I got a Marfoogle alert on my phone and I felt safe for some reason. Love you guys. That is actually one of the sweetest things I've heard all week. Hello, this is Marf. May I take your order?
Hey, Adam. How you doing, buddy?
Good. What's going on, Sean?
All right. Dave Hodges of the Common Sense Show. I was browsing around his site today, and I clicked on a video, and it was titled "The #1 Most Forbidden Topic in America." So I thought that's interesting. I clicked on it, and he said that he received a telephone call yesterday and when he looked down at his phone, the number was all zeros. So the area code and the number was all zeros. So he said, that's weird, and he actually answered that call. No, he said normally he doesn't answer it if he doesn't recognize it, but because it was all zeros, he decided to pick it up. He said that there was a man on the other end that he had never heard before, and he told him simply this. He said, Dave, there's a lot of things you can talk about. He said, but I have a stern warning for you. If you value your and your family's well-being and health, he said, you will immediately stop talking anything about Cascadia. And then he hung up the phone. Dave said he called one of his trusted sources and told him what had just happened. And the guy that he called told him to look in his previous calls and to tell him if all those zeros were in the call log. So he looks and he said, no, there's nothing in there that says all zeros. He said, okay, you just confirmed it for me. He said, that call came from one of the uppers at Homeland Security. And he said that also makes sense because I'm getting reports that they have planes flying low altitude across the ocean on the West Coast. He said they used to do it once to twice a week. He said now they're doing it 24 hours 7.
Now this is Dave Hodges, the Common Sense Show. Somebody was in chat saying, "Oh, they dropped. That's why he went." I'm like, "Why?" He went quiet all of a sudden. Sean, are you still there?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Okay, it cut out for a second and rang for us. By the way, somebody said in chat, and I didn't get to see your name, and I'm sorry. I wanted to call you out. Said you've had calls like that. He is totally right. We actually had a 00000 call. And we had some, it was weird. Like, we've had those kind of calls. And I guarantee you, at some point, we've had some high-ranking people, cover story people, call in to basically give us kind of a written spiel. Have you noticed that? I don't know how long have you watched, but I think some of these calls, I don't know, right? We're just getting the calls in. I think they are possibly government agents trying to, like, if we say something that's true, they throw us off the kind of line. I don't know. Do you think that was something that was, but this was like him saying, don't talk about it, like, be quiet about it? I kind of confused.
Right. That's exactly what he said. He said if he value your or your family's health and well-being, then you're going to immediately stop talking about Cascadia and don't even mention the name. So that was like a threat. They don't want him talking about Cascadia for some reason.
Well, because it's going to stop business. People are going to slowly start noticing all the things that are going on in the Northwest. There's these trucks driving around like crazy protecting the elites. The elites are getting all their brick houses fixed. They're all of a sudden they're putting up all these vertical evacuation towers. If you guys aren't from the West Coast, go check out how many vertical evacuation towers are popping up right now. If this is something that might happen, blah, 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 they are really doing this hard. And the military is prepared for it. Well, I'll tell you this. FEMA, military liaison, connects the military with FEMA, coordinates the two. It's a very important position because you're coordinating where, how they meet in the middle. Said that they thought this was going to happen 2 to 3 years ago. And that was about 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago. This is way overdue, right. And it's going to happen anytime. And I feel like I've been targeted almost for it. So I actually kind of think that there's some legitimacy to, that call. That's weird.
Well, if these kind of calls are going on now, that just kind of confirms that they absolutely know something. They know something, and, they're not going to tell us because of the panic that it would cause.
Absolutely.
But that right there is just like confirmation that, and with the planes flying 24/7 as they're scanning something on the coast, they know something.
And flying and doing those weird patterns over the different faults. No, this something's up. The leaks we just covered, the methane leaks coming out of the ocean all along the plate boundary, from Vancouver all the way down to California. We know they're in Washington. We know they're in Oregon. No, I agree. And the swarms in all the volcanoes. There's something that's about to pop. And yeah. Well, Sean, I loved your call. Is there anything else you want to say before you go?
No, that's it. I just wanted to inform you of that. And, now if your cell phone rings and it's all zeros, you can kind of prepare yourself for what you're about to hear.
Well, thank you for that, and I appreciate your call, and I'd love to talk to you in the future, okay? Sean, you have a beautiful night. Please be safe, be prepared, and, of course, Marf out.
You too. Thanks, buddy.
I want to send people over. By the way, the Common Sense Show with Dave Hodges, by the way, I always send positivity to everybody. There's people I don't like. Common Sense Show is not one of them. I like Dave Hodges. I would love to work with him at some point. I believe he's said something about my channel. Somebody said that he shouted me out, but I don't know if that's true. But again, I'd love to work with you, Dave, if you ever get the chance to see this. If you do go over there, say hi from Marfoogle, and make sure he knows that I sent you. Kind of like all them. But yeah, I would love to talk to Dave Hodges, because I know that he's been doing this a long time too, and longer than I have, and he's got some time under his belt, and he's talked to a lot of people, and the radio part of his show, he just recently started going on camera, but I used to listen to him, and I can't even remember how. It's crazy. I really look up to at least the format that Dave does, so he does a great job. If you haven't checked him out, Dave Hodges at the Common Sense Show. All right, let's see here. Yeah, Dex, are you still there, Dex?
Hey, Adam, I'm here. Can you hear me?
You fell asleep, didn't you?
No, I'm here.
Hold on, I gotta welcome J Cruz 088. Welcome to the fam. As always, if you subscribe during the live show, you will get a shout out and a shoutro. Q Trooper, welcome. I love it. Q Trooper. Tennessee Industrial, welcome. 20 seconds ago. Patty Hall. We've got Sasha, Aaron Owen, David Morrow. All these folks just joined the channel. Mr. Anderson, Christine Pound, Nina Mishling, Louis7737, Baltimore to Holland about 7 minutes ago. Samantha Vaca, welcome. Tree Doctor, welcome. Stephanie Millican, welcome. Oh man, lots of new folks, lots of new faces here. If you've never been here before, thank you for coming over. Mods, if you do see a new name that you don't recognize, obviously I don't even have to tell you guys. I have the best mods in the world. Make sure to make them feel welcome. Make sure nobody picks on anybody in the chat. Again, 10% of people will be sensitive to 5G in doctors will be overwhelmed when it goes fully live, says Mark Sketch. Thank you again. Did a super chat as well. Thank you. Mark Sketch, 5G will overwhelm doctors as 10% will be sensitive to the high frequency. Jonathan Esparza, thank you for what you do, Adam. As a B-Day present to myself, I joined Patreon to help the channel. Emoji heart 40 today. Well, happy birthday, Jonathan Esparza. The shoutro is dedicated to you for your birthday. Patty Hall, thank you again. Craig Mumbo, by the way, thank you. I really appreciate to you guys that reach out and do that. It is not required to do super chats or anything, but I do so much appreciate it. We are trying to build this. Again, we would rather actually have you do some of the stuff that we earn money on, right? We're very transparent about our affiliates. If we think that if there's products that we think people absolutely should have, then we would rather do affiliates like that, even more so than even super chats or any kind of free service or Patreon or anything like that. If we would like to earn the money we come in, and if you do feel on top of that by supporting us, then we appreciate you more than ever. Again, there used to be haters, but I think after 2 years of just basically being completely open and completely transparent about what we do, nobody really gives us crap anymore, or not many. Yeah, I think it's pretty awesome. Colleen Luce Wilson, Marf, you were mentioned a lot on Dave's show. Oh, on Dave Common Sense Show. He has said he will catch your show when he gets a chance. If he hasn't, it will be after the holidays. That's awesome. Rich Potter says, we still buds? We're practically smoking. No, I'm just kidding. That's buds, right? James Scott, thank you for subscribing. Mr. Remakes, thank you for subscribing. I bet you didn't think we were actually going to say it. All right, Dex, I love you, man. Thank you so much. I know it's super late where you're at.
Yeah.
It's like, what, 4 a.m.?
It's getting close to 3, but it's all good, brother, and love you too. And just for everybody that knows the UPS story, it's actually on the website under Renee Thomas's. And what had happened there was a couple of suspects had hijacked a UPS truck at a jewelry store, presumably something to do with the jewelry, took the driver hostage, and then ended up in a gun battle with police. The suspects are deceased. The driver is unfortunately deceased, and I think another person is deceased, and they haven't said if they're sure how the driver and the other person died, if it was from the suspects or from just the incident itself.
And again, Dex got all of the caller information on the website before the end of the show. It's live, 11:55 p.m. the 5th of December. Boom. Check this out. Everything is live by the end of the show. So you guys make sure to check our website out. If you want to support our affiliates, we appreciate it. If you want to join Patreon, we appreciate it. Nothing is required. Again, thank you guys for rocking us hard and just being so awesome. The Foogle family, I couldn't have asked for any better friends. I've literally met friends that I talk to, more than I talk to my regular family. So thank you guys, and I love all of you. Love all my mods. Treat the mods nice. They have a crappy job as far as, there's people they like, but if you're negative or if you're talking crap about callers, they'll snatch you up. So, and we always give people multiple chances. If you ever have an issue with chat or anything like that, email us at adam@marfooglenews.com. Boom. That's about it. Now it is officially time. It's not really an outro, and it's not a shout-out. It's a shoutro. I think I went cross-eyed a little bit. It's a shoutro. It's where I basically say every single name in the chat if you're still here. If you stick around to the end, you will have your name read. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what I said. You will have your name read. I will read your name right now. I will read it, I swear, on everything namely. I'm kicking butts and taking names and then saying them out loud, and I'm not out of names. All right, I think that's about all of that corniness. So, love you all. Be safe, be prepared, and marf on. But seriously, though, you guys, I couldn't do it without any of you. There's a lot of really awesome names here, like Awakened by the Looking Glass. Marf, do you guys earn the super chats? No, we do not. Oh, you guys do earn. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Sammy Lee, I still love my grounding mat after over a month. That is so awesome. Thank you. Argan Higgins. Oh, wow. Argany Higgincheve. Band Surveillance. I agree. Colleen Luce Wilson. Marf, you are mentioned. Thank you. Mr. Remakes. J. Cruz 88. No hate. Yes, that's right. It's time for the outro. By the way, just want to remind you guys, again, MarfoogleNews.com is the source for everything Marfoogle. thank you for being here. American Custom Diecast Vehicles, I appreciate you. And I wouldn't be able to do it without Maureen Forecloud. Love Pugs 05, Lydia Twinner, O'Rider Roger, Cunningham, and Teresa K. Cambiahan, Hodgepodge, the Crazy Mexican, and Dave Hodge, and Hey, Duck Green, Shane XCS, and CX, and Sex CXCX, and Hey, J Stone 78. Can't be here until go back and see May. It will change in a minute. Trinity, Red, Blue, Blil, or High, Ho, Kermit, Blah, man. Can you just shorten your name? Jonathan or Jonathan? Jonathan would be a good combo name for somebody like John and Jen having a baby. Say, it's like Cindy Claffey off the top of the dome and Papa Smarfay. Lisa Murray, Mad Cow Mark, Claude Mouse, Spina in the dark. It's like Colin Smith and Jiglums and Michael Joyner had a baby, and his name was Mark Saxton. That AZ guy and Mama Henry. They are friends, they don't know. They got that cake got buried. It's all about that J. Merritt. Tax got dough and from Seattle, Marfoogle. You know he's gonna go all the way back home. You're gonna get that boom boom more so na. I love that Mark Lassard. I'm gonna bring it back in charge. And the channel jam on bringing the jam. It doesn't really matter, got my feel belly. Gonna go back and I'm acting silly. Cali Baron, Heidi Gregory, Marfoogle fight. Marfoogle fight. Marfoogle fight all the time. Hey, Glenda Snyder, where is my name? I said Glenda Snyder, where is my name? My phone a ticking, the house you crazy. Just for you. You've got to go. Now remember, when the music stops, you let your body drop. Because we're going to dance until the end of time. Until the room is a never-ending echo. Hey, maybe that's too much echo for Susie Touchstone. I like it. Mickey Shaw says, Marf, you are so good at talking to yourself. I've been told that once before, and they said you go public no more. You stay in the room with the cushions, 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 cushions. And all the boundaries I started pushing, 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 pushing. Because all of my friends, like MG told forever, wanted to be friends forever. I've got my Rose and my Vanessa Rose, and everyone else by the design. Raider Jesus. Raider Jesus. Raider Jesus. Or is it Raider Jesus? I've got the Google Marfoogle #1 news. Killer job, Marf and the Mars. Put it on the wax, brother. Gotta bring it back now. I've got to make my own drums. It's about that time that we feel so good. It's what the song is. You are listening to 104.5 Funky Marf. It's not a real radio station, but we just pretend. Because I'm good at talking to myself. I'm so good talking to myself. I turn down the medium and just turn up the light. I've gone. I know that we will always be the friends. I've just got to see exactly where it ends. Smoking mirrors, Google Martin, Esparza, Sarah Calabro, and my Foogle Fam forever. Kelly Josie in the world is he. We're gonna go to mosquitoes and butterflies. Gonna go right with the LB rules. I've got my John Nelson and my 2B tools. And if a snafu snaps wants to say hi, I might just ride on by with my casual preparedness style that I have. Linda Kirby and the rest of my dads. Hey, Helen Dixon and Jenna Marion. We be hanging it on like we smoking Negron. Tiffany Rice, we be so nice. Let's go, Shastina, and go like flies. Montaigne, Dorsey, Montar, Montbreton, no Montico. PC gotta beat me with the able-bodied crazy granny with the Papa Marf with the F and the bring it back north. I'm a monkey, and I'm Animal C and Adam, Chris and B.O.B. Doesn't really matter if you even know. Hey, Rob, Sky, I got to fly on high. Just want to be an Appalachian stack in mind. Hey, Jay-Bird, wanna hold your airborne. Next gen Bruce Wayne, gimme MB. Harley and Cassie Gypsy. Daisy Rain and all the rest. Got to say the best. Marie toy for ya. I drove that down until it died. Oh, it says two for ya. I thought you said my broke-ass toy. Ota, Quota, they beat it, they and Lota. Smoker, that motor, and bring me to Debbie Warba. I just want my CJ Blaze, oh, panhandling. Go down in a blaze, it's 100 fire. I got down, I don't. D9. Down all night now, you've got that Mobius Gildred. I go down, and I never come back. You know what we mean. You know everything about us. I don't mean to blow up your phones. I don't mean to blow up all of your things. 'Cause this is the only true station that loves you. The only one that always shows you. We connect everything, all for you. And we hang out with all of our favorite friends, like Pedro Cruz, and that's Shastina, and maybe even Christina Zoo, and Mandy Bronson, and all of our friends. Lydia Twin now, going back and give you a grin now. Mobius, never seen your name before. Mickey Shaw, Holly Buzz, Kirk, gotta work, gotta get that down. We fight, Miss Gloria White. Now, Alfred Phillips, Brian Knight, and Kimmy, you all good. I just wish I could see the way that they do the things that we want to see. Lolita, Anna, and me, kicking it, trying to kill 5G. That affects you and me. And if I could really see the smoke and mirrors, I would. And you know it's all up to us to stop it, never bust, and never go back down and catch that bus all the way back down to millimeter waves. You got the samples, got the days. Listen with your headphones, it's so much more than Patricia and Heidel, CJ Blaze, and the Mosquitoes, hanging with that type of life. Oh, and don't worry, it's about to be that boom boom, and don't you see? I hope I didn't miss anybody in the beginning. What's up, Samantha Vaca, Virginia Otter, and all of the other new folks here? Thanks, Lisa R. Holland Dex, for getting my chat back. That's TTC. It's about the time for a boom boom now. Now I turn up all the things. You know, these things, I tuck them and I tick them. I teach them, I bring them, I do them, you know, brock them. Brock. Hey. Now you know nice. We sing with Nina Michelin. Gotta go back down. Yes, it's going to reggaeton. Yeah, gotta bring it back now. Yeah. Gonna go back now, Marf in the Motown. Rock on Marf with the mark sketching. Go for it twice, get it right back. You don't have to do two, but it's cool dude. Nicole Daniels has a bone number. Hey, welcome to the Tamba family. Honda, bring it back around the chandelier. Now you know, got the beat, got the flow. We still have 1,900 people watching. What in the heck is this? It's a boom boom time, that's why. They don't know. They know the style, but they don't know the perfee. What did you just say? I said the perfee. I have no idea what that means. It means they like you, kid. But not that much. Well, thanks. Boom, boom! Yes, man. Hey, night, yes, us, the Sammy Lee. Sammy Lee to the Mac. You're my 13-year-old's favorite. Bless you. Okay, make sure he's 13 and older, or she's 13 and older, because... Kappa. I'll tell you down. I'll tell you now. Bring it back, Ryan. It's the back grind. Boom, boom, and you go back now dying. Ah. Now we change it up a little bit. You know, you're still watching 105.Funky Marf. Just to close a bunch of these down, you know, son. Because we be doing that ting-ting time. Yeah, it hurts a little scratchy. It's about time. It's about time that we do that thing. That thing that we do. It's all about you. Hey, did they want to go all the way back home? Yeah, they want that Marfoogle. If they want that Marfoogle. If they want that Marfoogle, then they get the Marfoogle. Who is the Marfoogle? You are the Marfoogle. His name's Marf, but he's not the Marfoogle. In fact, nobody is Marfoogle. You are Marfoogle. I am Marfoogle. We're all Marfoogles. Yes, you heard that right. We're all Marfoogle and we get it funky. I'm about to go back and we got my monkey on my wall and on my knee. I think I'm bouncing it like Santa sees everything bad and nice. And now we go back right. And I don't have the names in front of me because the screen freeze. And now I can't do this like it's a breeze. This is all off the top of the head. We've got videos coming out from Florida. Marquez, I think that's how you say it. Florida now confirms it's coming. He uses the map again. Body language, Justin Trudeau. Serving a winner as a homeless Canadian from Philip Solo TV. Trying to reload the chat because I don't know your names. Real stories from a Unabomber. I don't know if that's a good video, but I will try it anyways. Now I have my Brian Wood ring, my ass rich, got my names back, so I got it all back quick. Clarity After Dark, got my Blue Helmet Slavery and my Anthony P, my Cindy Claffey and my Sandra K. Baltimore, hey, what's it up to me? For Siamese for me, Jonathan Osberza. Keep saying Jonathan, don't know why, but I gotta just go fly by. Got the LB rules with that fool and in my Gene 57. Going on hanging out with next man and already up in heaven. Got my bourbon and I go it back. I got my panhandle proper and my know it back. Got my Francisco Bandera, know it back. I got my Bruce Foster and my B.E. Cash. Got my Allison White and my Rich Potter. Going with my Rotobound, gotta get hotter. Pop a meatball and a Bruce Wayne. Got my Lisa all to the brain. Sammy Lee McMillan, don't know how to say it, but it's okay. Like Daisy right now, all the way. Robert, alright, yes. All you gonna say is MacGyver money and I go back. It ain't funny with a Mobius Gildred. Gonna be like, oh, that's awesome, Lisa. Gonna bring it down, got my visa. Cause I'm a citizen, no wait, no, I've had it for the rest of my life. Maybe I should marry like 90 Day Fiance. Bring it back like Beyonce. Now you know it's all about Anita Torres and everything she does. I never get why that song ends there. It sounds like it's going to kick into the beat, but it doesn't, and then I'm just left there singing. I don't sing. He says, do that thing. In fact, he said, do that thing. Do that thing, Morph, go back to the town. Crazy grand apple like it's stacking in the brown. Gotta get back in, God has that crown. Able body gotta go see the sound. Spots in life gonna bring it back now. Everybody really wanna go. Everybody really wanna sing. Gotta go with the outfit fields. Contact land on Snyder. Vanessa. Mrs. Silverheart. Mrs. Silverheart. Rich pie, gotta bring it home. I gotta go home. Daisy riding along the walls. Got my Tammy Swanson, Earthing 2018. Thank you, that's awesome. Trinity Red or Blue Pill, hi ho, Kermit the Frog here. Thank you for coming. We're all here. Hi, 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 hi. Christos Stotson, One God, and Lindy Kaz. Tiffany Rice, hanging out on the back. Brandon, and Bo. Now we reading the gospel. We're about to go home. Pedro Cruz and the rest of them doing what they do. And they say he's a bad rapper. Well then, whoa. I'm just reading the names off the screen, and I think I'm okay doing a Dizimo, but that's back to then. Capichow, blah, blah, oh, we say it now. Hey, I don't know what to say. I just okay. Baltimore to Holland, New Jack. Flame keeper, get it more on the back with the emo J, and we going cool. Alfred Phillips, and we know it full. Amber watching my Foogle maze. My night, all night, all night. Gotta bring it back with the Betty Funk. Going at no guys, no masters. I've got to say hi to you. Never got to try. Be nice to people like you. Laugh at the jokes like you already know. And you know I've got to be. Earth 2018. You know, you're listening to 104 Point Funky Morph. This is my ultra persona. This is Marfasta. Yes, that's right. I just came up with him tonight. His name is Marfasta. And Marfasta wants you to have a good time. Rose Vanessa, thank you. I just dodged it. Otherwise, my wife would kill me. Tammy Swanson, thank you for being real and present. I love it. Or is it a real present? Alison White, thank you. Patricia and Heido. Oh, you got my mama Henry and my Bruce Wayne. Oh, got my John Nelson and my one hip chick down the street. Got my Shinobi one and all, got the rest of these. Oh, now you don't want to go home, now without seeing me. Going down the street with my Suzy Kyo. rest of the crew. Barefoot Lash and the Kelly got that Mary and the Gorka belly. And you know it's all about the Betty fun. The Betty fun is so very fun, like a Filipino Betty fun. Yes, this is Betty fun. Oh, now you wanna go with the hang with the crew. Crying hippie. Crying hippie. Crying Now it's time now. You know, we gotta turn off the things. Now it's time for that real song now. You know, this always precedes the ending of the good now. The time, the good, that thing, that glory, white, that night that you have when you go back inside your Lord Jesus Christ.
The dolphin in the sea, rolling in the waves, flirting with the breeze, got my Sunday shades on, play my favorite song, thankful for the charm, loud rocking in my phone.
Because the shoutro is about you. None of this would exist without you. Thank you all. I love you.
Now don't bother with the haters, cause they all be imitators.
I know any day this can be taken away. So I'm just very thankful for today.
I like me for me. I'ma be what I'ma be. I like me for me. I am who I wanna be. Don't need no apologies, just peace and serenity. No thought to the jealousy, Wonder Woman identity. I like me for me. I like me for me. Head over heels, you know how that shit feels. You think it's out of space, but I know that it is real. Sipping Topo Chico, La Coco Puerto Rico. Liquor dance, waterfall, anywhere that we go. I am looking for attention, I don't need the extra tension, cause I'm in the fourth dimension. Trapeze high in suspension. Now don't bother with the haters, cause they all be imitators. Real life manipulators, get fit back up and see you later. I like me for me. I'ma be what I'ma be. I like me for me. I am who I wanna be. Don't need no apologies, just peace and serenity. No thought to the jealousy, Wonder Woman identity. I like me for me. I like me for me. Na 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 na. Gotta prove it to myself and nobody else. 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 I like me for me. I'ma be what I'ma be. I like me for me. I am who I wanna be. I like me for me. I'ma be what I'ma be. I like me for me. I am who I wanna be. Don't need no apologies, just peace and serenity. No thought to the jealousy, Wonder Woman identity. I like me for me. I like me for me. Gotta prove it to myself. I like nobody else. Gotta prove it to myself. I like nobody else. Gotta prove it to myself. I like nobody else. Gotta prove it to myself. I like me for me.
Torso Talk. Oh yeah. Okay, one more now. Now they bring it. Now they sing it. Now they wish it wasn't there, and the haters don't care. Gotta bring it back now, do it on day. Gotta say you gotta show some love. Gotta bring back, and we all gotta show some love. Gotta bring our babies to love. Gotta go bring them right on her. Gotta do it all day. Gotta say that you gotta be nice to each other. Gotta go back to the days of we're brothers and sisters right under Jesus Christ. Gonna go back round now, you know we not. Got my love for, I got my one Lord, and I don't worship false idols. I'm gonna bring them now. Well, I hold everything I hold dear. Gonna be back in no fear, being prepared for everything now. You just gotta go, you just gotta love everything that you see. Gotta be everything that you gonna be. 89% of the ones that I love, they follow me, and the Lord put me here for a reason. Now I believe in. Lord put me here for a reason, and now I'm believing. Put me here for a reason. Put me here for a reason. He put me here for a reason. Now I'm believing. Say thank you to the mods. They did a really great job. Put me here for a reason, and now it's not something you believe. Now you're thinking it's not that anymore. How could this happen to me? It won't seem fun anyways. There is all them bad days, but it just comes back, and now we just blaze our own way. We just blaze our own way. And every day we see, we just know someday he'll be back. He'll be back. He'll be back. So watch how you act. Someday he'll be back. Have a good night. I love you. Thank you.